so. Thank you. Nekabari and Nancy, I can see your hands. You're welcome. So let's hear from Mr. Nekabari first.
All right. Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Mr. Adikumne. My name is Nekabari Moses Ogu. Work for 103.7 XFM River State University, Port Harcourt. Thank you for having me. I'm a participant here.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir. I must add that I also have a good working relationship with Mr. Nekabari. He's a good man. It's good to have you here. Nancy, the baton is next to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ansi, and I currently work at Fashion Africana. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great opportunity to be here.
Brilliant exposition. We see another hand from Ogunyemi. You have the floor. Ogunyemi, if you're not there, Stephen Ikechuku, please go on.
My name is Ikechuku Stephen Bonner from Rocket Broadcasting Network, and it's my great pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Mazi, you're welcome. It's good to have you on board.
You're welcome.
And please do not forget, we can also help others facilitate it. Adeshino Adegbike, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Adeshino, are you there? Okay, Adeshino seems to have had a change of mind. So we have just about 2 minutes before Dr. Aro would launch into the first half of this training. Who do we have next raising their hands? Okay.
Additional from the University of
Okay. Lumi, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Walker, and I work with the media company here in Benin City, and I'm super excited to be here.
You're welcome, sir. Titus, over to you. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. My name is Titus. I'm an engineer. Work with Radio 1.7 Open State. It's my pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure receiving you, brilliant minds. I'm yet to find any other indicator, so we have just about 1 minute until we put the green light on this conversation. So far, we have in the count about 17 participants joining this training, and I must say thank you for making out time from your busy schedule for us to be here. This is one of the things, if not everything, that means it all to Dr. Aro, making sure people get trained and become better persons at their craft. For purposes of introduction, my name is Adekunle Adejumo. I work with Wave 91.7 FM, and I double as the South-South editor of the Premier News, amongst other variables. Dr. Ariel Leonard, it's time for us to get into today's class, and today's class is entitled Simple Ways to Produce Radio and Television Content. Dr. Aro, you're welcome. It's over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Morning, everybody, once again. And I hope we will make the best out of this session. I expected much more to have logged in by now. They know that we don't like wasting time. Out of the 3,000 people on the Kleverest Scenta groups combined, we should, and for broadcasters, one of the key things is that discipline to be on time. You know, old man, Dr. John, was one of the first to log in. And because that's the spirit of, in those days, broadcasting, you're in the studio long before the time for your show. But these days, we see people strolling, and it's that kind of attitude we use going forward. We had a training on the 10th of January titled Creativity for 2026. And I said, at that training, I said what made me decide to do that training. And it was because it was New Year's Day, and I woke up and stations all over were everything they were doing, even China that had a different New Year's Day. They weaved all the politics, all the wars, everything around, all the storytelling was around the New Year's Day. That's what happened on New Year's Day. And then I tuned to our stations, and what did I see? Our guys were busy, from the big stations to the small ones. Our guys were busy showing us all the ugly politicians that we don't like, that make things difficult for us. Then at some point they'll say, oh, New Year Day was celebrated. But that ability to catch in on that celebration, on the season, and weave it around things, we don't see. This is currently Lenten and Ramadan period. You don't see us weaving the season. We had International Women's Day. People just did some programs sparingly. On World Radio Day, I got calls, even on the morning of World Radio Day, February 13th, to be on air on some stations. That means people didn't even think about it. They didn't think about what they will do around World Radio Day. There's something being celebrated internationally every day that we could use to spice up our content. So our content is not monotonous. It's not just sounding the way and looking the way it is currently. Also, there are things that happen to us daily in our lives. There are things that happen daily. And these things are the things that bother us, are the things that we as broadcasters and will-be broadcasters, content creators, in quotes, social media, whatever you call them, are supposed to be talking about and putting content out about. But we don't see that. Rather, when you put on your telly, it's as if the station is transmitting from maybe Mars or somewhere like that, and it's so funny, and only God knows why that is. And we're all humans living in Nigeria. Some stations will just copy and paste what happens elsewhere. Like you're listening to sports broadcasters, my favorite friends, on radio, and some will be transmitting to the people in his village in Nigeria here, and he'll be talking about summer transfer and all those kind of things. Do we have summer in Nigeria? So we are not connected to us. And because we are not connected to us, we don't even look at ourselves as broadcasters, as would-be people. That's why it's difficult for us to put content. So we go on air, we play music for several hours, we come back, we say, listeners, hope you enjoy what we are doing. And then you post your videos on social media, dancing in the studio, and that's it. Then you go back home, then you cry to your neighbor, say, NEPA, take light. You cry to your neighbor, oh, that road won't spoil my tire. You cry to your neighbor, oh, fuel price has gone up. You cry to your neighbor, oh, no food, and all that. That just shows that we are not connected. Adeyemi, your hand is up. Are you trying to say something? Okay. So if you're not saying something, you might lower your hand. All right. So I just want to share little things around that. And this training was also as a result of, I traveled to 3 different locations to do training in the past couple of weeks. and for broadcasters. And I see that people still struggle with the basics of how to put content together. Some people feel that some magic has to happen. Some magic has to happen before anything like content could take place. It doesn't have to be so. It's just you sharing the way you gist with your friends. That's how it's supposed to be. What bugs you? What bugs you? Turn it into content and get going. Turn it into content and then get going. And that's what we'll try to do today. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. When you see it, let me know. So we'll talk about some of those basics again that we've been repeating over and over again. Let me see. Can we see my screen? Can we see the presentation?
Please, if you can
Yes,
see the
yes,
screen,
yes,
go
we can
ahead
see.
and indicate with your favorite emoji.
Okay. All right. So I'll try and see what I can do with this, moving gradually. So we are looking at simple ways to produce radio and TV programs, content, anything, just things that we can just put on air to spice up. These days, people can't sit and watch TV or radio anymore. It's sad. Okay. So first thing I want to do is this. Let us so the first thing is that when it comes to anything broadcasting today, some of us have gone to some studied mass comm in school. Some professors taught people certain things, how to do certain things. I've been to FRCN training school, Broadcast Academy in Lagos. They've been to other academies in different places. And we've been taught about formats and certain things. This is how you need to sound. This is how you need to do X, Y, Z. Now, what this diagram is telling us, why I put it there, it says think like there's no box. The broadcasting world has changed. Dr. John used to call himself controversial in those days. And I told him to stop calling himself controversial. Then there was nothing controversial. Well, now I can allow him to call himself controversial because the entire broadcasting world today is controversial. So anything goes. And that's the reason why, and because broadcast organizations are still stuck with these old ways of doing certain things, producing content, that is why the very dark minds of this world will be collecting all our money. You can imagine I was in Yola a few weeks back, training broadcasters on how to do programs around police reform. And they were telling me a story of how Very Dark Man was coming to Yola and the commissioner of police and some other people were scared and they were calling to say, Very Dark Man is coming. They were scared. And I was wondering why that is, scared of Very Dark Man and not scared of the broadcaster. And I asked them that question. So if they are not scared about you, who is the professional journalist, who has the airwaves, traditional and social media, you have all of them put together, they are not scared of you, then it's the Very Dark Man that they are scared of. Then that means there's a problem somewhere. UNICEF released a document and it's titled What Journalists Can Learn from Content Creators. The document is here in my system. I never read them, but because I know it's in the inside, because there have been some snippets here and there, but I have it. And the truth about it is that if we want to really produce content that matches the modern day controversial way of broadcasting, where everything is upside down today, then we have to behave like those content creators that the professional broadcasters are calling untrained people. We'll call them quacks. We'll call them this and that. But yet, all the adverts that is supposed to be for your station, they are the ones collecting it. They are the ones the government is afraid of, the ones police is afraid of. And that means there's a problem. One of my former classmates called me and asked me if I had Very Dark Man's number. At least up to 10 people have called me to ask for Very Dark Man, Tunde Ednot's number. That they want to reach them because they have an issue. They can't reach you, the broadcaster, who is supposed to be the professional, who is supposed to be the one ordained by God to be the mediator between the ordinary man and any problem that he has. Then there is a problem somewhere. So right now, if you want to work in this broadcasting and produce content, you must think like there is no box. There is nothing stopping you. You can do anything, do it well, and put it on. We are here now. This is a TV program we are doing. Not like my background. That's not my house. It's the background created, and we'll talk about all those in a bit. Okay? Let me see. So, the content we are talking about now, what is this content? And as we go on, if you have questions, you can drop it, you can type it and drop it there. If you want to stop me at any time to ask anything or make a small contribution, please do that. You can raise up your hand and we'll give you space. It's supposed to be interactive. It's not only me. We have gurus here. Dr. John is here. Kunle Adejumo himself is a guru, a programs manager for decades. Chima Wankwo, my guy, is here. There are so many of us. Yemi is here and so many others. So we'll all contribute to see how we can move things forward. With Dr. John, who is here in this session, we tried to do this controversial broadcasting thing when we were helping to set up a radio station called Rapid FM in Umuahia. There's a staff of Rapid FM here. And I'm not sure even you that is in the station now, you understand the original concept, what we came up with when we wanted to start that station. And even the name Rapid was like that. So the station was supposed to sound and behave like Twitter. For instance, nobody waits for NTA network news to know anything. So if you are not dealing with that thing on Twitter instantly as it's coming out, nobody remembers you. It's the people who deal with it on Twitter. Those are the real people that they need to reckon with. And that is the truth. So that station was supposed to be, you're doing a live program, you're interviewing somebody, whatever is happening, in between something is happening somewhere, instantly someone sends the message in from the field, and then that presenter goes on air and puts it on air, just like that. Each station is supposed to have teams of people working everywhere. So even before you get that, and if it's something that needs to be verified, a team is there verifying it. So everything is moving rapidly, with speed. That is how broadcasting is today. So how would you do that if what you know as content is that thing they taught you when you went to Broadcast Academy or Masscom? Say it must be like this, it must be 30 minutes, you must produce it like this, you must sit and talk. You are welcome to Youth Panorama. Youth Panorama is a program for the youth, a program that no youth even talks to themselves and says, you youth. But we still see that kind of boring, archaic style of content going on. You enter a cab from one place to the other. You enter a cab from one place to the other. A lot of things, just the discussion in that cab. I like taking public transport a lot, and people don't understand. It's good for your health anyway, first of all. I also like strolling a lot. But the conversation you get, see, the best place in Lagos, for instance, to generate ideas for your radio or TV program, is when you enter Danfo. That is when you know the beginning and the end of everything that is happening in Nigeria. Your research starts ends there. And you have loads of content that you could use. But these days, I see broadcasters, they'll send message, say they'll put it even on their status, on their profile, I don't take public transport. It has to be Bolt or Uber or that for how much salary that they don't have. And then they go on air. And when the station can't pay them because they can't generate any content that affects the people who listen to them or watch them, then they begin to say bad management, bad station, bad this. You go online and you say things. You say negative things about station. But this is a training going on to help us to be able to develop this content, to become relevant, to get jobs, to generate revenue. But here we are, and we are not here. So content today is not something you go and sit and do abracadabra and manufacture. It is everything that affects you and other people that happen every day. It's per second billing. It's not per minute, per second billing. That is what content is. Anything, any day, you've planned out what you want to do. You are live, on air, doing that your program that you are doing. Something is going on. Pull it in. You're there. Someone is cracking a joke somewhere in the studio. Something is happening around you there. Pull it in. I usually share what I was doing way back 2003 when I was producing Campus Live on ASU Radio in Abuja. Yeah, and AIMBA then was the reigning team in Nigeria, and they like playing their matches on Sunday. My program was Sunday, 5 p.m. So there's a TV set. There's no TV set in the studio, not like modern day studio these days. So I'll make sure that someone helps me bring one TV set from somewhere and put it there in the studio. So I'm watching AIMBA match live. Meanwhile, they used to show all these matches live before. TV people today, even NTA. In my house here where I am, I have free-to-air satellites. The match Super Falcons played with Cameroon. None of our stations could show it. Nobody bothered to even talk about it while it's going on. But I watched both matches live on CRTV Cameroon from my house here. But we, the Nigeria, for where, national matches we play, we wouldn't be able to show anything because we've turned the whole content thing. Now, me doing Campus Live, AIMBA is playing. I'm presenting my program that I already planned. AIMBA scores a goal. I'll tell the world that AIMBA has scored. That way I keep everybody with me so people don't have to leave my show to go watch AIMBA. Arsenal is playing, Chelsea, and so on. I do the same thing. So people don't have to leave. Something is happening somewhere, I talk about it instantly on my show. This is what I had been doing since 2003. That's how many years ago? 20-something years ago. Then there was no Facebook. Talk less of the TikTok and all that we have today. I did not even have phone. It was later on I bought Nokia 3310. Talk less of all that. But we were doing a lot of these things then. Sonny Rabo, in his shows, is still on doing programs today at 70-something years on Inspiration FM. And when he's presenting, every show is so interactive such that it's never stiff. Something pops up and he knows how to bring it in. He was the one that started Radio Link on FRCN network. So some of all these things have been happening. We did this behind the scenes live event in Lagos in 2020, was it 2023 edition or so? And at TBS in Lagos. And from nowhere, I saw Shay Martins walk into the venue, you know, with his jeans t-shirt. For those of you who don't know Shay Martins was former GM of FRC and Metro FM Lagos. And they were the pioneer staff of Radio Nigeria 2, which was on Martin Street, funny enough, in Lagos. And they were known as the bad boys of Radio Nigeria, the stubborn guys who don't like to follow the rules, who are being controversial and all that. So when the FM technology came up and they wanted to set up the FM station, the stereotype people thought that would never work. What kind of radio would that be, interactive and all that? FM, what was FM? It used to be medium wave, 9 rain, you know. So they shipped all the bad boys there. So they had freedom to do what they could do, all the controversy, turn programs around, be interactive, be lively, be exciting. And he came into the venue, and as I saw him, I said, you will speak to us. 67-year-old man, you know, came in, bouncing, and he was sharing all these stories. The same Shay Martins saved a coup in Nigeria, in Radio Nigeria, and a lot of people don't know there was a particular coup that Nigerians did not hear of, because when they stormed into the studio, he was the one in the studio. And then as they hit him with the gun, as he was falling down, the mixer has one master switch that is different from the regular fader. So his hand hits the master switch and cut off the signal. So all the stories the coup plotters were saying never went on air. And that's how the coup died. So since they could not announce anything, you know, other soldiers came and rounded them up, and nobody heard about it. And you can't talk about it until like 30 years after. That's why it's now out there for the few who know. This is the same kind of thing that these guys were doing since when Radio Nigeria started, when was it 7 something? When, John, remind us when RN2 started. Lively, interactive, picking up things from the street, putting them on air. That is what broadcasting is today. It is not new. It's been there since, but we just got ourselves locked up in a box and we could not move with the times. God had revealed these things to us since, but we refused. Okay? So the next thing I want to let us know is that I'm trying to do stuff. There is convergence. So content is not like, broadcasting is not like before anymore, where when you're doing radio, you're doing radio. When you're doing TV, you're doing TV. So you have stations that would have manager radio, manager TV. You have, even within that, you know, the content team, you have head of programs, head of news. All these are just things for fights. Modern day broadcasting happens right there on your smartphone, as you can see on the diagram. There's convergence. Everything now happens online. TV, radio, print, coming together, being online. That is why you see all the newspapers now. They are now employing video editors and all that. They now have their online visual aspect. Long ago, Wazobia FM, you know, I remember when we wanted to donate to Wazobia FM then, and my colleague from the UK came in. I went to Lagos and went into the station. This was around 2013 or thereabout. And you know, when you get into the reception, you see the monitors, you'll be seeing all the presenters on air. You know, these guys coming from outside the country, they still believe that Africa is one village. You know, and as we got there and she saw everything, I saw technology in place at Wazobia FM, you know, they were like, this is our one desktop that I want to give to these people. Would they accept it? And I said, they need more. So they will definitely accept it. But way back then, the Cool Group was already streaming. You could listen to them online. You could see them on social media for the ones that were available then. You could watch them through the webcam they put there. So nothing is new. So how come after all these years, we are still where we are? It's sad. And we're rebranding Metro, the entire FRCN network, some years back. I think this was around 2014 or thereabouts in Lagos. And the presenters were now asking a question about, they were asking a question like, how long should this kind of program be? How long should this one be? How long should that be? And Dr. Ike Okere, who was zonal director then, was just laughing because he knew the kind of response I would give. I say, you people sit down there and be debating formats. Wazobia is there breaking all the rules and making money. Some people in the past, some broadcasters in the past had the notion that full pidgin English broadcast is not good for radio. And some professors we had in schools refused to even recognize Nigerian pidgin English. Yet, in the dictionary, you will see South African English, Zimbabwean English, and so on. The one that pained me most was when I checked dictionary one day, checked online one day, and I saw Sierra Leone English, and Nigerian was not there. And we are the originators, in quotes. My name, for instance, is not Leonard. Leonard is an English name. My name is Leonard. Leonard is a Niger Delta native name, for people who don't know. The Portuguese came there before the British. So it's the confusion between the Portuguese that some people had learned earlier and the English that came in that created this pidgin English that we are talking about there. That is the lingua franca of the people from that part of the country. And that's why you see some of those names. So Leo is what the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Italians use. Le, na, nine, the British people, they use. You get it? But some broadcasters want to now teach me my name and tell me my name is Leonard. You get it? So we need to break all these things that tie us down and know that broadcasting today has moved. So the way your show should work, just like we're doing when we're setting up that rapid, if the owners of that station had listened to us and followed through, it would have been a model for a lot of other stations in the country to follow. But that was not done. Now, your show starts online with whatever happens online. And then from there, it comes to your radio or TV and then goes back online. That is the sequence of broadcasting today. And then when it goes back online, it never ends. It continues. That's why they say the internet never forgets. That is why you watch the, what's his name? What's his name? They asked who said that. They showed him who said it. You get it? And it has happened to all of them. Verify, whoever, all of them. You know, and it could happen to you. Just go and contest. Now that time you're going to say, we get your files. Okay? So that's that. Now, also, the next thing about content, I've said this earlier on. Now you see this picture of the right up there, some of us can't see it, but it says something like, when you tune on your radio or TV station, you are inviting, the listener is inviting you, the broadcaster, into their home. Now, what kind of person would you bring into your house? Is it someone that causes problems for you always, or someone that asks for money from morning till night? Nobody wants wahala today. It is someone that adds value to your life, whatever you do. And that's the same thing about content today. Nobody will tune and listen to you if you're not doing something that touches them. Again, with the same Dr. John who is here, we set up Darling FM in Owerri. And when we're setting up that station, before then, from all the master classes, when I was at BBC Media Action, all the master classes we were having, research showed that the 2 states where you had the lowest in terms of advert placements, the 2 states where the people don't like to place adverts for radio was Imo and Abia State. And we sat down there and said, look, if we cannot make the average man in Owerri to bring out money from their pockets, do content that will touch them, enter their blood, as thick as that blood is, we pierce it down. Do something that will touch them and make them bring out money from their pockets. Lay hands on them to remove, with our content, to remove any spirit of stinginess. Then we should not set up the station. Dr. John is here. He did most of the ground research on how we place the content, what kind of content we work, even up to the sound, to the extent like the Igbo program. The staff we have, the station was set up with 7 people. Only Dr. John here was the experienced person in the station, no other person. He was also the chief driver who would take the vehicle and carry everybody from morning and then go start the show. And for us to be successful, we had to cut costs. So we did trainings for 3 months, develop content according to that. So we had to go search for a freelance presenter. Did not even promise the person job or salary or anything. Look for who is interested. You want to do content that add a certain kind of voice, a certain kind of courage, a certain kind of emo people, plenty for the Kleverest Scenta group. In my days of recruiting for broadcasters, they will just finish one recruitment for Malicha FM. That's where you have the when you say rudeness to the core, it did the blood of broadcasters. It's in the blood. Just yesterday, someone sent a message on WhatsApp, no introduction, no nothing. He just said, any vacancy for Imo State, I beg, tell me. No introduction, nothing. That's the attitude. So we needed a presenter that would have that kind of courage, that would enter their blood. And one of the other freelancers we are taking, Una Men, because in doing the training, we made the people that were there, both the staff, the freelancers, to also understand the vision, what the station was about and what we wanted to do. And he searched and brought that guy. The GMs he had worked with before, they are my friends. They all told me that guy, a problem person. But if his voice, his courage and everything, the language, the deep Owerri Igbo, fits the program we wanted, I would put him there. I would tell him, this is your opportunity to be born again. He actually did not become born again anyway. Still committed. But that program became a money spinner. And by the 2nd month, Dr. John, head of station, without much consulting, because the money just flowed in immediately, he staffed the people that never expected that they would be staffed. They were just shocked. They were staffed, they were given accommodation. No other station in that Owerri till date, even when they went off air, was making up to 50% of the revenue the station was making. So that is it about content. So it is not those things you go and think in Mars or Moon or somewhere to come. What is it that is, touching somebody? What is it that will enter the people's blood? What do the people feel, that they can connect to? That is what content is. So for instance, let me ask questions. You tune in the morning, what okay, let me give an instance of something that happened. Police reform, for instance, the new IGP set up a committee, state policing, not so. Now, every newspaper, every TV, every radio station just announced that thing as if that thing was coming from the blues, as if the Inspector General, it was his own idea. Meanwhile, if you go and check the 2020 police reform document, that committee was put there as one of the things. That document has been passed by the National Assembly for police reform, and a lot of things have been happening. Now, that document is there, and that committee is clearly written there, passed by National Assembly, which should have been set up since 2020, when that Police Reform Act was passed by the National Assembly. Now we just set up, say police set up committee for state policing, and just like that. Have you seen the way Christina Mampo would report this ongoing war between USA, Israel, and Iran? She follows people's stories, and a lot of the other people go look at it. So in other words, instead of me just announcing that thing just like that, I would have tied it to the needs of the people, connect it with what is going on. For instance, a lot of people don't know that in that same line where that committee was supposed to be set up, that same section, they passed the act for the setup for the modalities for community policing. And there are already community policing committees involving the police, traditional rulers, and community people in several communities in this country today. But we just announced that thing like it's from the blues. Meanwhile, all these things were already operating. So if I was to take it, I would have taken it from what is already operating, how it affects the people, and make people see that this is something that affects them directly. And they could see themselves in that story and then tune in. Are you getting what I'm saying? Is everybody with me? You're with me. Please wave. Let me know you're with me. Aha. Thank you very much. So anything at all, if you want to make it work, if you want people to connect to it, let it be what is connected to people. The people that are there. Now, if it's connected to me, I would most likely listen. So the guy in Owerri, for instance, when talking about that story, should have known about the police local committees. You know, we have two hands of all around media and Adeyemi. If you want to say something, I can give you an opportunity before I move to the next thing I want to talk about. Okay? So, anybody that wants to say anything now about what I've said so far, before I go
I actually wanted to wave you, and I didn't see the wave. It was raising hand that came up.
Now you be moderator, so you give yourself mic and tell me, say, oh yeah, stop. All right, good.
It was that you said if we can hear you, we should give a wave. So I wanted to give a wave. I was not seeing the wave on time.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I even thought it was Adedimo speaking there. All right. Now let's go into some technicalities of how you now produce this content. We've established things like it has to be things happening to people, connected to people. Content has to be real time. What is happening as you're moving on the streets? You know, when we were setting up Women FM in Lagos, I did one of the early trainings for the staff. And I told them, for instance, in Lagos, we have traffic radio in Lagos. So when you tune in, they will tell you there's traffic jam here. But in most cases, nobody tells you the alternative route to follow. We already know there's traffic jam, even, you know, so is that the thing I need? So when I asked them, I say, imagine this driver that picked me up from the airport. He picked me up from the airport 4 p.m. Someone was supposed to meet me at the station. This person was already at Berger, for those who know Lagos, 4 p.m. The station is after Berger, long way after Berger. I don't know the magic this driver did. He passed through several places like that. And before you know what's happening, we're all there. We're at the station. I don't know where this guy passed. 6 p.m., the person that was coming to look for me was still at Berger. I said, just go back. You get, so I now ask them, say, imagine if while that your program is going on and there's traffic jam somewhere, and you now call this driver and put him live on the show to give people escape routes. He was not supposed to be on duty that day. He was even grumbling and angry. But the HR insisted that he must be the one to pick me. So it was when he did that maneuvering that I knew why they insisted, because he knew the road. Yes, someone put their Google Maps is there to direct us, okay, today. But then you will know that there are some shortcuts when Google Maps, no, they know. Now human beings, they know. So months later, this guy called me. He said, bros, guess what? I'll be superstar now. My voice don't enter radio. You know, they actually did it. And it brought traffic to the station because he could tell people how to maneuver out of places where they are stuck, because that is what the people need. So if your station is actually doing that, people will connect to you because they know that they will find help there. It's just like when I was doing Campus Live, I'll announce schools that have admission forms out. I'll announce when schools are resuming, information that you could not get easily because we didn't really have this social media, you know, thing like that. And the one of the guys from the marketing department walked up to me one day and said, Arrow, don't you know that all these things you're saying, these schools are supposed to be paying for them? You know, in my life, even as head of media development and external relations at BBC Media Action, the organization was not really doing well for stations. I prayed one prayer to God. I said, God, help me. I don't want to tell lies. But when someone puts a difficult question to me, just give me what to say. So instantly, what came to my mind, I just asked the guy, do you have a child? He said, yes, my child will just finish SS3, will soon be going to the university. And I asked a simple question. What other radio station do you know of that does a program that your child can get that information from? And he was speechless. And he just turned and walked away. From that day, nobody disturbed me again. Campus Life was one program on ASO Radio that nobody touched. And I'm telling you, even during fasting period like this, where most programs at that time from 5 p.m. will be put off, Campus Life was never put off any day. The worst case scenario is that we might reduce the time from 45 to 30 minutes, or we move it, not start 5, start somewhere like that, 4:30, you know, to 5:45 or something like that. But it was never put off. Because that program, because of what we were doing, touching lives, people were rushing to listen to that to get the kind of information we were giving that was things they need. A program on Sunday, a lot of you on radio, how many people do you know of comes to a station to put adverts Sunday, 5 p.m.? Rare, unless it's one of those ones that run all through. But this program had to be increased from 30 minutes to 45 minutes because we were looking for space to put 30 adverts in that program. That's how popular it was. 3 weeks ago, I was in Kano for this police reform training, and I was giving an example of this same Campus Life. My colleague used to tell me that Campus Life was popular in Kano. I thought it was because ASO Radio had a very wide, you know, and ASO Radio then, if you are driving from Abuja, is when you are getting towards Ogun State that you stop getting the signal. You know, so I thought it was because of that. So it was there in that session that I was told that no, Freedom FM Kano was hooking up to ASU Radio's Campus Live that I was presenting. And one of the ladies was in that training. I knew she later did a campus-related program on Freedom FM. She told me that it was because of that Campus Live that they made her to start presenting their own Campus Live. And she was still in school then. And because of that, when she graduated, they staffed her. So when the content touches somebody, when it's something relevant, something that people are seeing, what people need instantly. Right now, children are doing exams in secondary schools, primary schools. How many of your programs is helping these children to be able to pass their exams? How many is helping parents know how to guide their children? And these are things that are happening that we need. Tax reform law, they were announcing this thing for how long? How many stations were really able to break and pieces these things down such that people could understand it? The last elections that we complained about, it was simply because stations did not break all these things down for people to understand how things will work. And also, by breaking it down, when people understand, the people who are now saying Abuja is state, not state, would have been dealt with evidence from your radio programs where they came out to say what is what, because you would have taken everything and broken it down in a way that people understand it. How many people knew that, okay, when they capture you with the beavers, you need to make sure that the thing was properly recorded? People walked in there, they snapped them, the thing didn't snap, it didn't record properly, they just felt and they left. But in 2009 Anambra elections, where we started this media peace day thing, one of the problems then was voter apathy. And guess what we did? We trained then it was only 3 radio stations in Anambra, 2 ABS and 1 Radio Nigeria. We trained the people in ABS how to do programs that will make people understand that, look, they can come out for voting. They can, we even did food program on the kind of food you will use to go to the venue so you could wait. And then we wanted them to wait there and ensure that the votes are counted. So we had to be doing things. The presenter of a children's program, the producer is late now, Pastor Ogo, had to do a program on how children talk to their parents about going to vote. So you see a child walk up to you and the child will come and ask you some of those embarrassing questions. You will go out. We did all these things because it was connected to people. In the same Onitsha, where I was doing this training, Dr. Cyril was the head of programs. I remember I accused him. I said, why did you put BBC Media Action programs by 9 p.m. in the evening? And he said, you don't do anything. That is our prime time here, because that's when the traders would have come back from market. Are you getting? Doing content, following the lifestyle of the people. So when you look at this diagram that is there, there are 3 things at the bottom. First, the one up is that question sign, asking questions. The next is lifestyle. You have culture and religion, and then you have media habits of the people. Now, these are things we need to take into consideration. While setting up Darling FM, these were some of the things that formed the research that Dr. John did to be able to place programs where to place programs. We brainstormed a lot of programs, but we only started the station with a few. And funny enough, it's the same few the station is still running with till today, since 2017. What's their lifestyle like? What do they like to do? Are they people that just come out, sit down? For some of you, they are marketing people here. You see red card, prime time in Lagos, because you believe everything that happens in Lagos is what radio should be. Then you now copy radio red card. Then you go and put that time that the station in Lagos put as your prime time. You just copy and paste, put as your own prime time. In your village, is it the same time that a Lagos man will spend 4 hours on the road listening to radio just to get to the station? You in 5 minutes, you are there. Just to get to his office, you in 5 minutes, you're there. And you're putting prime time the same. You look at the lifestyle of the people. What do they like? How do they sound? How do they talk? What kind of food do they like to eat? So you don't just go on internet, dub anything, come and place there. No. You must find out. Ask yourself. Ask those questions. What do you guys like? John was not from Owerri. Several of the presenters were not from there. So we have to ask a lot of these questions, do a lot of observation to know what do these people really like, what excites them. If you are looking for a taxi driver's trouble, for instance, where as they've increased the price of fuel and of course transport cost has gone up, you are looking for their trouble, just go and tell them something that relates to the fuel price. Say, why they increase? That's come down now or something, then you will know that that guy has some venom in him. Are you getting? So in other words, a content that talks around pump price stuff would excite that guy. I want to listen to such a program. And things like that. Anything that could help him, save costs, nowhere to get fuel or something like that, cheaper, would help him. Are you getting? Things like that that connect to what people are going through at that particular time in that particular location where you are, not copy and paste. Now, what about culture, religion? We are very religious. This is Ramadan period. This is Lenten period. What happens within this period? Is your content doing something that would help somebody fast properly? Are you putting certain kind of content at a time when these guys would have broken their fast and will be ready to listen to you? Because some fasting sometimes gets you fagged out. Are you taking that into consideration? Are you doing content about how people will stay healthy while fasting? You're just wasting the entire month like that. Do you know that there's a lot of money to be made by station in this period from religion and culture? I'm not talking about fanaticism, but there are people who key into their religion. And because they want to show that they key into their religion, they will support any content that takes that into consideration. And you will make a lot of money. Now, in the core north, why they drop a lot of other programs is because there are billionaires who sponsor regularly tafsir, the call to prayer. They sponsor it regularly every year. So they want to make sure that they give them enough space every day to drop the money there. That's keying into it. But that only happens within that period of 5 to 7. What happens to the rest of the day? You don't know that if you develop content around that, as is happening right now, those same billionaires, rather than keeping their money stuck there, and let's say only one billionaire, sponsors for the whole period. The other billionaire's money is gone. You won't have it. But if you create different looks here and there, what will happen? You'll have several other billionaires coming in and sponsoring other content. You don't believe that you could do religion and tie it to sports? How many of you have seen the Ballers for God on Instagram trending? How many of you have seen it? Ballers for God trending on Instagram. But you don't think you can connect sports to religious festivals and things like that and do content and get that extra chichi. Yeah? So you need to just think about what happens around you. As you wake up every day, what happens? How can I relate my content to it? Do I just close my eyes? Just as if some of us, we just wake up from sleep, our eyes will remain short until we get to the station and again go do our content. I don't understand. It's the same things that a Aproko doctor will now go and put on social media and be making billions. And you, the broadcaster, with all your training, your past send you go school, spend money with all your training and everything. You are depending on the salary that is not coming regularly at the end of the month. Why? Okay. And I've talked about media habits also, which is you knowing when to place sports. So it's not about producing the content. At what point do I place it? You know, for instance, let me give you an instance with Darling FM again. The target audience for that core or the program that we're talking about, we found out that they loved listening to 7 o'clock FRCA Radio Nigeria News. So you don't just get up and just drop that program there. So we have to give them an opportunity to listen to the news. Then after the news, they don't go anywhere. They don't go to another station. They know that there's something in Darling FM for them. And then they come there. So if we placed it at the time where the target audience was listening to the news, we'll have problems. If you place it, let's say another station has a there are some programs you can't compete with. That's the truth. There are some programs that are, sports, if it's produced well, like Cosmos Chukwuemeka Sports, you feel it well, and you play something at that time, you're going to lose your audience. You check and know when to put that particular content for that particular audience that you're trying to reach, and then you put it there. So if Cosmos Chukwuemeka Sports is trending, I'll need to put something that is meant for people who don't love sports at that time. So that other target audience can go there. Okay? Then the next thing I want to talk about now is this thing they call mind mapping. So for instance, why our content is always somehow. Just 2 days ago, part of the annoyance that makes me do some of all this training, just 2 days ago, I was watching the title of one of those are regular morning discussion programs, and it was Security Situation in Nigeria. That has been the title for the past 10 years. The next time they come, the state of security in Nigeria is the same thing. Security wanting in Nigeria. And then we find out that we keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And that's why we keep having these security challenges. And that's why sometimes we run out of content in quotes. But what you have on the screen is what's called mind mapping. Whatever content area you're thinking about you want to do, just put it in that circle where you have the TV and radio there. And then just from the top of your head, write down everything, every single thing that is connected to that topic that you want to deal with. Everything connected to the topic. So if we do that in here now, if we do the practical here now, you will find out that in just 1 minute, you will come up with, in just 1 minute, if I ask people, say just from the top of your head, say one thing that connects to security right now, in just 1 minute, we will come up with enough content ideas that will last us for the entire year. We're doing a training on producing programs, and I took Camille, one of the superstars from Darling FM. Camille is one of the biggest health journalists in Nigeria today. She does Art for Health live event now, taking radio out from Darling Clinic in Darling FM to, she was the only Nigerian featured in IJNet journalist conference of 2020. She was on Insta News investigative panel. when she got called. She said, small me, young lady there. How long? She had only had a couple of months experience before coming into Darling FM. And because of that Darling clinic she was doing, she got recognized. She has won several fellowships. She's a freelancer today and doing well. Now, so I invited her to train staff of a station, Today FM in Port Harcourt. And she did this exercise on health programs. And the same people that said they were struggling with topics for their health program, within just 3 minutes, came up with over 300 topics. There were just about 12 people in the room. Over 300 topics. Okay? So what you need to do, you don't just take things and just drop it. Break it down, break it into bits, and take them one after the other. Small, small. So if today the part of security we want to look at is the part of one chance, face it. Even that one chance, you can break it down. There are things that lead to one chance. Entering vehicles from the road alone is a topic on its own. What are the advantages of entering a vehicle from the park? If you want to analyze things around the park alone, is a topic on its own. What to do when you are faced with that one chance situation is a topic on its own that you can analyze from beginning till the end. You will teach people karate there if you like. You know, things like that. What about negotiating your way out of trouble? Just ability to talk is a topic on its own. We've not talked about, we not mentioned police. But you want to do one small thing on security, the next thing you are thinking about is to go invite police commissioner that will never come, or one security expert, retired, one thing, that has a busy schedule. I will repeat the same thing he repeated for you the last time. Whereas with ordinary day citizens, you could do this. For instance, I was producing a program called Justice Team when I was working at Internews Net 2004. That was the first program to creatively deal with reproductive health issues in the country. As at then, there were certain things you can't talk about on radio, they will burn down your station. So I was given the task to design it in such a way that nobody would know. And so I'll be entering Okada to the office and gisting with the bike guys. They will be giving me ideas. And I got this one and I said, have you ever been on radio before? No. So would you like to be on radio? And he agreed. And I brought him on that program. We're talking about surviving unemployment. That was what the world thought we were talking about. We were talking about reproductive health, HIV and AIDS. That was what we were actually talking about. But I was just using his experience and everything he was doing to talk about that. You know, just his angle. When you say surviving unemployment, there are so many aspects. But I focused on just his own angle as an Okada rider who came into Abuja from the crisis in Jos. And under 6 months, I bought his own Okada, started building his house and everything. While the second person that they were giving bikes together used his own in another way. And the bike has spoiled, it's roaming the streets now. You get it. All right. So break things down into bits, turn them into questions format, and just throw the question online. Just one simple question. And you'll be surprised the kind of feedback, diverse feedback you will get from just that one question, one single idea you put there. And like we said, your program starts from there. Then you harness those thoughts, bring them back. You know, do brainstorm with your team. And before you know what's happening, you'll see a lot of things that will happen. Okay? So you now take that one content and go back to the other slide and start thinking about how you produce it based on the needs of the audience in that your location, how it will represent their lifestyle. So the way I will talk about it, certain things in Abuja will be different from Lagos, will be different from Owerri. How it will reflect the culture of the people, how they behave, what they do, you know, the kind of language you use to say, the kind of examples you give, the kind of slangs you give, and then how it will create familiarity such that the people will know that it's our own. And with this, you have to be consistent. So they keep coming back to you. They know that when we come back, we will get this. Not that you do well today, the next period, you're gone. A lot of us opened up our Facebook pages for our programs. Many of those program pages are empty today. It's sad. And you have data to be watching Sabino, Smart, Anthony, Very Dark Man, and everybody with your data. But your own page is dead as a broadcaster. It's a sin, and you should be fired. All right. So, yeah. So some key questions you need to ask when you now come up with this question, this content. And it's because we don't ask ourselves this question, that's why it becomes difficult to produce these programs. Just ask yourself simple questions. What do I want to say about this thing? So what is the issue around this thing I want to talk about? You know, how do I want to say it? Why do I want to say it? Why is this thing important to the people? You know, who is this thing most important for? Ask yourself that question. So when you're designing the show, finally, you design it in that order. Okay? And all these things we are talking about, we've not looked at the production process. In pre-production, there's brainstorm, which we are doing, there's research, which we are still on. We've not gotten to start writing anything. I want us to know. We are just asking questions and taking notes down. Asking questions and taking notes down. That is the research. So you don't have to go print a questionnaire. You don't have to have all the money in the world to say, oh, I want to now do research like we do in BBC Media Action. We spend millions on research. It's not that one. Just ask simple questions. Your neighbor, people around you, your colleagues. Go on social media, put a question there and get feedback. DM people in your timeline. You know, things like just get all this information. What do you like? You know, how would you like to hear it? You know, and then you take this information and merge it together, and then you do your program. For those who know me, this next slide, I will always talk about it. And for me, this is the alpha and omega of using any program. You must be able to summarize what this program is all about in the simplest form possible, such that you understand it. And write it down so you do not forget, so you do not lose track. Let this be your guide. Let it be your formula, your principle. Who is this program for? And then all those lifestyle, everything will be there to show you who it's for. What is this program about? What is the issue, the key issue you want to deal with? So you're not just saying, okay, we are doing security or we are doing one chance. What about one chance are we really talking about? And then what is the expected outcome? So after the people listen to this thing, what are we expecting them to do? Now, if you don't take these things into consideration, you find out that you will just do programs. The people will not connect to it, like most of your stations. And when they don't connect to it, they would not listen. Okay, I've been talking for a long time now. After these slides, I'll pause for questions and comments from people. Okay, so when you get this written down, you write it down like this for that particular topic you want to deal with. I'm telling you the truth, you will be on point. You will be able to nail this thing on the head. such that that Owerri man we're talking about, that naturally will not put adverts, will say, Kai, no, this thing touched me, enter my blood. Now me, then do they be like say, you heard people say it, as they do this program, be like say, now me, you they talk to. They say it for your pastors always. That's why a lot of you repent when you get to church. But how come? When I'm not listening to the same work you they do as broadcaster, you are pastor, you are imam. Why can't they say that about you? No, this is your program. Kai, now it didn't touch me today. It just be like say you just live with me from my house. Now you can't do this program for me. And when I was producing Flavor, HIV and AIDS program, those were the kind of text messages we were receiving. You know, so when doing that program, the amount of personal information I have, people wonder, and that's why even when interacting with people today, I have this large followership and I'm able to keep people because I know how to get personal with people and pull out information. That was, and it was those information we were using to produce those Flavor editions. That's why a program on HIV will run from 2005 to 2012, 52 editions in a year. And we don't necessarily repeat per se unless there's a specific reason for that, because there's always something to talk about. Each person relates to each issue differently. Are you getting? So with each person's experience, you get a fresh idea on how to do this program. So you could deal with the same topic, but you could deal with it separately in different ways. You understand? All right. So let me stop there. Everybody copy this thing that is on the screen and do it. Let's have some interactions, then I will come back and conclude with the other part of it. Some of the other parts. All right. So Adejimo, back to you. If people who have comments and questions, sharp.
Dr. Aro, thank you so much. I've been praying that every day should be relieved this way, because development of content is actually not an easy grind. We must acknowledge to that. And let me also salute the various personalities here who made out time to listen. If there's anything I believe in, it's the fact that if we keep refining thoughts and we keep encouraging ourselves, we get better on the daily. Dr. Aro, I don't know, maybe it was on one of those journeys when you were not in Nigeria, but I specifically had to reach out to you. Not because I didn't see the avenues of what you had talked about, but I never had the courage to dare, some of my management in the face and tell them this is how it ought to be done. Unfortunately, in some of our broadcast media houses today, since we've allowed that flexibility of a person can be a lawyer and decided to head the programs department in a station, a person can be an accountant and is the general manager of a radio station. I have seen those instances, and it frustrates the way content ought to flow. So someone like me who had, had to face this situation head on, after your last lecture with us on looking at and observing 5 things in your environment that changes every day, my ideation towards program change, because sometimes you can even find it very, challenging that your head of programs will be telling you, and this developed in the newspaper. Why you no carry on? Why you no talk about it? And I'm like, must it be about the newspaper? One of the statements you made then was, the content should be, it should solve a problem for somebody. That was my takeaway, solve problem for somebody. So I boarded the bus, going to work. I saw a young man putting on this, what do they call it now? Not bracelets, the hand beads. And on his left hand alone, he had about 6. On the other hand, he had about some 3, hand bangles. And I started to question, what's the history behind this thing? What could he actually be trying to do? Is this some sort of voodoo, or protection and all of that. And we took it on air. Though I couldn't do a survey of getting to hear from people primarily by, going on the street to take vox pop. But on radio that day, people started to say, oh, I've been asking the idea behind this thing. It be like saying a juju, then they use and do. It be like saying a this. And so we started streamlining it, even though that was not exhaustive. Secondly, we looked at how human beings would naturally say, okay, they be your passy pack, they block my shop. We asked the question, are there any underlining or undertones to these things? Why do people who own shops and businesses react that way? You can even take a kid to the market and the kid is standing next to the mother or the dad, purchasing something from a person, and you hear the other person shouting, come on, you're picking from my shop, they block my glory and all of those things. So we started solving problems the more for people. Now, I run two important flagship programs, Real Talk and the Spotlight. Spotlight is basically political, issues. It cannot get detached from that. But Real Talk, there's a lot of flexibility. Now, to do an impact assessment, my head of programs had to say, Ade, how did you come about this? What invited this level of drive? Because it looks as if this is engaging. And after talking papers, everything in the morning, you come with these issues that are soft and touching the people, and it solves problem. People want to talk more. People whom we've never heard into the station, they call in and say, I have been listening, but I feel this is the time for me to do this. People calling, I have some screenshots that I shared on my social media and people say, thank you for always helping us solve problems. Now, it may not be 99% correct but all the time, but I know from a great deal of times we have profound solution to people. So, Dr. Aro, this is just a commendation and a confirmation that what you're doing here is not like pouring, water into baskets. It's holding substance and it's changing how we do things. I mean, from your classes, you have always challenged us to be better versions of ourselves. Some of the feats I put last week, I never believed I could do it. So thank you so much. And let my words serve as the testimony or the conversion gospel for others who are here to join this train of reformation. Power to the people.
Okay, anybody?
Adeyemi's hand is up. Adeyemi Ogunobi. Emma Bino.
That hand has been up since.
Okay.
all around media is up.
All around media, you have the floor.
Go on. Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, colleagues, Dr. Ruth. It's been a while. I'm very sorry that I joined early, but in the past, some of the trainings I wasn't able to join, but this one I joined today successfully. I want to thank you very much. I listened from the beginning, and
We don't have our audio any longer.
What happened?
Madam Adeyemi?
Audio has just gone off.
I think she's dealing with net. Okay, in the interim, all around media, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know what to say, but like you've always taught in your classes and in your short stories, the best way not to accept defeat is to keep trying to do something. I have a challenge. I know your brain fires a lot, and I know your brain fires on. If we were to gauge you with a BM, you will be like V16 with 16 valves. You run very well. Now, I have that kind of a brain too, and just listening to you, I have been able to put together about 3 programs that I can do. All the research I have done, everything I have done, and anybody I tell about it, they know that this one is not coming from a shallow perspective, but I have a challenge. I am working somewhere. So the time to commit to it, naturally, those of us in the media, which I know you have also done, is it will get to a time, even with the way it is going, content is no longer cheap. Content is no longer what you prepare and now that somebody. The internet, the telecommunication has made it easy for everybody to take their content to the markets and begin to trade with it. Now, my challenge, I don't know. I advise other people and they work. They work with their own vision. Like those of us that read the Bible, Solomon said, my fathers made me a keeper of their vineyard. My own vineyard have I not kept. That is, so I don't know, maybe, even this morning before this class, I was telling myself, should I employ people to drive my own vision? Since I'm helping somebody drive his vision, and I cannot be in 2 places at a time. You know what happens to the vision when you are naturally not there. So this morning, I want to ask, or this afternoon, okay, it's afternoon already. I want to ask, what can I do when not being available to drive I can be driving and the ideas will come. I will process it, do the research and everything, and it will not get to the place of you will still have to drive this one. I'm a man of faith, but I'm not still very strong in that faith that says you should go and resign and face something that you are passionate about. That is the challenge this morning, and I say, okay, let me get your own perspective of what I need to put in place to get it running. All the ideas are noble, and there was one I conceived far back as 2004. I left it. My friend, bosom friend that we're doing it together, ran with it. Today, he started an NGO. He has relocated to the US with it. So this not running with the vision. What can be done? How do I recruit people to run my vision? Having it in mind that in Nigeria too, when the owner of the vision is not there, the vision is as good as dead. Let me not bore others with my question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And please, for the subsequent question, we'll be accommodating. Let's help work with the time available so we can get more contributions. Dr. Aro, thank you. Over to you.
Okay. First of all, the truth is, if you don't have money to pay, why are you talking about employing people? That's the truth. Anyway, this is Kleverest Scenta. All the people you see that have been doing things for Kleverest Scenta are all volunteers. Now, Adejumo is here because Kleverest Scenta, like he shared, did something that touched him. So you must, first of all, and broadcasters need to learn this, we must become less selfish. We don't have the right, broadcasters don't have the right to be selfish. That's why we fight for everybody. We don't know how to fight for ourselves. You must be able to first, if you really want people to help you do things, you must be willing to do things for them. When I was doing Campus Life on ASO Radio, I'll be in the studio. People used to think the program was a recorded program because they will send in text messages just now. They will see the answers before the end of the program. And they keep wondering. Listeners used to come to the station on their own. I'm telling you. They will sit on the floor in the studio, only hear their voice. When messages come, they'll be sorting the messages out. You have a lot of people doing things for you. And that is what has kept me over the years. When I was at BBC Reaction for those 14 years, people who know me. My colleagues don't even see me till after 3 months. I'm always traveling. I'm all over the place. That's why you find me in every single station in this country. As the head of department, which I was for 12 of those 14 years, like managing so many people, I was still the lead trainer. We don't have, what's it called? This kind of civil service admin way of doing things. No. So I was still the lead trainer there. So, yet, because I had all these people around me, I could do a lot of things. A lot of the coppers, even when I was producing flavor, a lot of the coppers were the ones doing a lot of work for me that I was supporting. They come to my house and they sit down. Some of you know Zeno, the popular Zeno is on News Central now. That was with Silverbird and also TVC. One of the best voiceover guys you have in this country. One funny thing, Zeno did a voiceover for my friend in the UK, and the guy said it was AI. I said, this is Zeno, my friend. Now, a lot of people did not know Zeno would come to my house and he would be learning how to produce flavor and editing things for me. So you must be willing to give from the little what you call little that you think you have, means volume for people. There are young people who want to learn these things that you do. So that is the trick. You finish this session today, organize session for young people in your station, organize session for young people in your streets, organize session for young people online. And then you'll be surprised that you have followers, you have people who come and support your content production. That's one. Two, have you not posted something on social media recently? When I started, I was talking about the concept we had for starting up Rapid FM. And I said content should be things that happen every day, anything. And I said you do not have to wait till when you have it all sorted out for one big, gigantic program before you put content out. For instance, some of us believe that if you want to do a radio program, it must be 30 minutes. If not, you should not do it. Why? The 1 minute things that people put on social media that is earning them millions, you know what it is? And we don't know how long 30 seconds is. We don't know. Those who attend some of my physical training where I give an assignment for them to present something in 15 seconds know what I'm talking about. You don't know how long it is. There's a BBC Igbo News and Pidgin News that a lot of stations air, BBC Minutes, but all the news you know will still be there in that minute. Cool FM came in those days and they said, give us 2 minutes and we give you the word. Sharp. There are so many things you can do. So a concept comes, you work on it, post it online immediately. It begins to get traction. That is content. That same thing can go on a regular on your station. It's that easy. 3, one of the ways to cope is this. Throughout my years in BBC Action, with all the plenty work I was doing, being very busy, till now I'm still very busy, but you see, I still have to carve out time to do this session today because I plan to do this session before my birthday next week. You know, so I still did it despite the fact that the schedule was tight and all that. Because in BBC then, I used to say I was being paid to have fun. I was training young people since 99, so it was already part of me. I was producing content and doing all these things. It's just fun for me. It's not anything serious, just part of the lifestyle, you know, that you do every day. As you interact with people, you don't know that it's content you do. You go to the market, it's content you're doing. You understand? So when you see it like that, you see it as fun. But what we have is that we have cases where broadcasters think they are working for a station. You're not. You're working for yourself. For yourself. All the things I did then, is it somebody else that is benefiting it now? Is it not me? You are working for yourself and not the station. So when you see it as fun, you're going to weave in whatever ideas you think you have for yourself. You weave it into what you're regularly doing for your station, in quotes. And then you take your part, you put it online. Are you getting? So currently, you don't post your own content you are doing for your station online because you think you're working for someone and you think it's separate from whatever you're doing for yourself. No, it's not. They are one and the same. It is you that is being built. It is you that gets popular. and it's you that gets the extra things when it comes. So these are the three things I have to say. Remember, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Start with whatever you can. On the street, just post something. You hear all these people that just take an issue and talk for 1 minute. That is it. That is content. It's part of the thing UNESCO says we should learn from content creators as journalists. Let's stop being too technical. Let's stop being too serious. Let's stop being too formal and just live a free life, easy life. Anything that happens, pick it up, put it there. Pick it up, put it there. Ask yourself those key questions I asked. It doesn't take you a few seconds to ask yourself those questions and get the answers. And you've designed how you want the content to be immediately. And you put it out there instantly. If you don't put it out there, someone else will, or it will become stale. Things move per second. Before you know, something else has happened. Something else has happened. So instantly put it out there. Put it out there. And because content never dies, they say content is king. In Benin, they will say, may you reign forever, and things like that. You know, it's how content is. So you can repurpose that same thing you put out. You can repurpose it 1,000,000 times and use it at different times and for different purposes. That's how content is. So the more you keep keeping it, the more it becomes stale. So you get it instantly, put it out there, and you see how it goes. Okay. Adeyemi seem to be back. If your audio is back, you can speak now.
Thank you very much. Before Adeyemi will speak, I appreciate.
Okay. You're welcome. What's your name? You didn't even tell us your name. All Round Media.
My name is Festus Ejirogene.
Okay. Okay. All right. The chief. He's a traditional chief from Delta State. Okay. Kunle, are you with us?
100, sir.
Is Madam Adeyemi ready to speak? Marigold also has her hand up.
Marigold, let's hear from you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And I'm grateful to join this training today. I actually finished my program a bit around that 11:30. I was like, I will try and see if I could join. Thank God I met it and I was able to join, although it's not been easy, but one has been trying. So it's been long. I attended Mr. Arrow's training. I know all the beautiful things I used to get from there. So when I saw today's training, I said, no, I would try and attend. And permit me, make una no vex. They always like to go to the normal lingua franca when busy then take Niger, take no. So me una no vex, ma switch to pidgin. They say now where person they walk now they chop. So now waiting I take the chop 9 be this. Now pidgin how they do. If you know the hear pidgin, not vex. For those of us where they hear, God go bless all of us. And I don't carry on now. Go down to that lane, whether you like him or not. Now the lingua franca. When you see Ronaldo before when he not sabi English, they talk. Now in language you take the talk, and the whole world they hear and they go clap for him. Even Messi at some point. Now recently they start to learn English. Not only for Nigeria, everybody they doing spring. It's okay, not bad though. But my own be say to connect with people very well. We need to go down to the grassroots. If we must make good content, make it for sell well before you come on and put for English. Someone permits me, more not vex. Okay. Mine is a quick one. I get a small challenge. Not challenge, I go call them. All my years in the broadcast industry, I don't do sometimes I go do well, sometimes I not go to do well. Navigating from radio to social media, it not be easy thing at all. Especially if you get a kind of a company where be say they not get any strong thing about social media. Not only you they run the package yourself, not only you they run the program yourself, as Mr. Arrow go tell us. Now you go be reporter, now you go be cameraman, now you go be video editor, now you go still be the caster. All of them all in one. We don't take all those things, take grow, take learn. At the level when I did now, I did with Confirm FM 89.5 Lagos. And yes, then get some strong social media stuffs there. And I come into a program whereby na night program now then give me make I handle. Basically, some people say na specific kind of people, not be everybody they like one tuning for night program. Then when I see the ratings for January compared to wetin I do for December, I feel like say my audience drop for January and December high past January, although I just started with them. I never see February on, but my body they prick me as to wetin I fit do take rejig some of my kind of programs. I dey do late night programs, intimacy programs where I talk deep, sometimes I talk raw, and sometimes I talk about some family issues, like I talk about the boy child molestation and the girl child molestation. Now, my question is, how I fit take easily, not be say I no dey do am, but I want to dey there more, easily move from the radio, like Mr. Arrow talk, from media, from the social media to the radio, from radio back to social media. How I fit take move am easily, wey e no go fit affect my daily life being, because now if I finish my program late in the night, I got to sleep throughout the day. And by the time we be say I go wake up, say make I edit 1 or 2 video, the time they pass, because time now of essence, time don't they pass and the information don't they come out. Like Mr. Arrow talk 1 minute before you know, you don't lose. Now how I go fit take manage and to make sure say I drop those information as fast as possible so that they go reach out to the people, 1. Then number 2, I don't know which kind of thing I fit take bring to maybe rejig the program, not like rejigging it totally, but to see how I fit get more audience, because it be like saying that my own 9 day a bit low, even if na night program I agree, but I still want day up there to still make sure say I get people. I get good audience engagement when I look at calls, text messages, and some feedbacks. I get good audience engagement, but that notwithstanding, I still feel say I never still do better, because if my audience drop for my January, I don't know how the February on go be. So I just want to know waiting I fit put inside to take ginger. I get first program now for parents, fathers, mothers, and for children, as it gets to do with intimacy and closeness and bonding among husband and wife. Then for children, talking about boy child molestation, girl child molestation, rape, domestic violence, and all that. Then for the second hour, now mostly for singles, how to prepare them, those where they ready for marriage and all those kind of stuff. Then for the last hour, now just confession night, waiting you don't do, wait day you bad, and maybe you do person or person do you, and you know if you come out of that forgiveness spirit, or you won't come out of or how if you take get back to the society after you don't get rejected. I don't get people where come say they be Boko Haram. I don't get people where be say they don't thief. They say they know if you come back to the society and all that like that. So those 2 questions basically help me out.
Thank you. So you carry us go back to our roots, because right now my name don't they become roots. But I go leave this one, Dr. Arrow, will be the Iroko, and you get solid roots past myself. I root out.
No root out, so no just try root out, so but no, Ogaro, over to you.
Okay. I'm coming. Let me get something out here. The truth is that unless you missed, I think you missed the early part, the beginning when I started, when I shared, the way the way the thing should be when it comes to program production. Now, as broadcasters, and you've attended one session, several that I've said this before. Social media is part of that your program planning. I talked about how we set up a station that was supposed to be sounding like Twitter. That is how broadcasting should be now. Nobody waits for anything. So if it does not go out, then there's a problem. Now, a lot of stations do not understand that. The ownership of that station, for instance, we wanted to do that with Dr. John, did not understand some of all these things and could not put certain structures in place to make it work. Now, it's the same in a lot of stations, that they will not put structures in place to make this thing work for you. But as a broadcaster, you know that you are your own station. So long as you own a smartphone, anybody in Nigeria, there are some young boys here with me, you know, who are wondering some of the things I'm saying. When you have a smartphone, you have your own station. That is the truth of the matter. Once you have a smartphone, you have your own station. Now, if you do your programs in such a way that you take that into consideration, you would have planned everything. You would know when you're applying that thing you want to go and say on air, you already know what you want to put out there, the question you want to put, the post you want to make. Okay, now you talk about editing videos and putting out and all that. Not everybody has the skill. The next thing I want to talk about are some things that will help you, and it is AI. You have AI that you just feed in and could help you do that. And it now left for us to go use some of those tools, and you don't have to spend the whole day like we used to do in those days to do something. But at the same time, you do what you can do at that particular point in time. Sometimes it is just one caption, nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing else. And it goes far. If you go on my page, I usually don't have time to paste things, you know, but you just go, you just see something simple. And before you know what's happening, it speaks volume. It's part of what you want to share. What is a unique central point from the discussion, you know, that you add, that you put out there? Just that. So it is better than you saying you want to go wait till forever for something else to happen. You know, then you now package and go and package something and put online. That is why, I don't know if you heard when I said there's a document by UNESCO. Go out and Google it. What journalists should learn from content creators. Go and read it. It's a full research document.
Okay.
That man will not wait to go home, go and do extra things before he posts something out there. But that's what we do. You know, so if you want to learn from them, you do that also. You don't have to. That's one. Two, for those of some of you are here who are leaders in your station, you must place the structures. For instance, if your program is supposed to sound like Twitter, so as your program is going on, someone is doing the Twitter live. And there's this guy that just joined now, Chibike. He left earlier on. I would have loved him to. I thought he was here all this while because I would have made reference to him. He just joined now. Chibike is the communications manager of Nigerian Health Watch. They do a lot of training on social solutions, journalism, and all those kind of things. Now, they do live events and all those kind of things. For each of those events, people are there doing Twitter live. They have a lot of interns working for them, doing Twitter live and stuff. It's such kind of things we should have in our stations. So I told Felix that if he said he doesn't have time, but I said a lot of things that have been going on at Kleverest Scenta have been done by volunteers who over time have been benefiting from this. You are a Kleverest Scenta volunteer. You that you are here, you are the one that emceed the live event in Asaba. You paid to do that? No, you get it. So if you build the skills of people, you'll find out that they will come, they will support you. Stations need to take more interns, bring them in, put them through on these social media things. So as your program is going on, they are there tweeting for you. What about friends you have at home, your family people, other people elsewhere? They are listening to you on radio. They could also be tweeting things for you and then tagging. And what I'm going to next is the tools that make these things even easy for us. For instance, now you have collaboration. So you don't have to be the person to post something. Someone else can be the person to post it and invite you as the collaborator. And it still appears on your page as your post. And it's so shocking that stations can't even maximize all these opportunities that social media platforms have created for us. Are you getting it?
Yes,
so,
sir.
One, Your planning for social media is part of your program production. A program starts from social media, comes live on air, on radio, on TV, then goes back on social media.
Okay.
And what you don't even know is that apart from that, do you know that if you want to produce programs, modern day way of producing programs, your programs are also academic research platforms. So for instance, why would it only be Channels and Arise that get sponsored to go for Davos every year, and people are doing finance programs, economic programs, business programs all over the place? Why? Those guys are only invited because they are the popular stations they know, but it's not that they're really doing something extraordinary. But if you finish your program and from the comments, suggestions, you're able to also take notes. In this training now, some people are not jotting. Take notes. And then at the end of your show, you are able to put out notes and comments and things like a communique of that your program and publish it. It could go on journals, in case you don't know, to serve as academic papers. You can send it to development organizations, to the Davos people. The next time they would invite you, tag all of them online. Are you getting? And the guy that Felix that is saying his friend is now abroad. You too, you go there abroad if not that one you want. Okay? So station managers put these structures in place. It doesn't take anything. It's about getting interns to support you as an individual, build the skills of young people, and they will also be able to support you all through. Okay? Your second issue, you are looking for ideas. We know we'll give you ideas. It's simple. Go and do that mind mapping. You've done the mind mapping training before. Do that mind mapping with your team. Do that mind mapping with young people. And you also have a lot of teenagers you help. Give them those tasks. Have that kind of session. You can even do an online session with your listeners. I remember there was time Nigeria Info in Abuja here when I was supporting them. They did something that I loved. Because what gives me excitement is when after these sessions, you go back and you practice what was shared here. So they invited listeners. There are popular listeners who call in and all that. I invited them for a brainstorm session and things like that. In 2003, all that was what I was doing on Campus Live that made the show what it was. And funny enough, when I was doing Campus Life, I had not done any real journalistic training. My first training was in later that same 2003 by Internews Network. But I've been doing all these things since. Are you getting? So use the people around you, and it's from interacting with those people and using them to build your content. That's where you will see ideas, angles to look at things from. All this in a night program that they do, just form stories here and there. And it's the same kind of stories that you have it from station to station to station over the years. Why? Because you sit down and you just think about it, okay, one story, this and this. But if you actually interact with people, you will find a lot of issues that people go through when it comes to relationships. Real things, not those extraordinary magic things. You gave some nice example of some simple things that happen. Adejimo gave some examples that he used on air. Simple things. Go on YouTube. You will see someone who made a video about how people were parking on his parking lot and what he did. But we don't see that as content until NSAS happen or something else before you know that that's a content. Or like you said, until when newspaper carries one story, that's when it's a content. For instance, some of you that carry the Buala story everywhere, it was all over the place, you put it on a social media page. Did you look in between the lines? Did you look in between the lines to pick up some other things that could have been stories as a result of that particular thing that happened in our day-to-day conversations with people? So that one can only happen in your political program, but it can't happen on this your romance program. It can be an example to use in your romance program. You see the thinking, but that's what happens every day in our day-to-day interactions. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So go use that mind mapping and you will see loads of ideas, loads of angles. But the secret is think simple. Just look around you. Look around you. All right.
Thank you
So
very much, sir.
since you've talked about this, let me just go back and share this screen and just show us how technology has made life easy for us. Adejimo, do you want to say anything?
No, Doc, I'm okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So that after this, we'll round up, and then I'll like all the so many wonderful people here to say something. Now, talking about this, can we see the screen?
Yes.
Beautiful. You see, this thing, this right up here, this thing was gotten from way back. It's been the same thing. My internet training way back, writing to picture. If it's radio, say writing for the ear, writing to picture. So some of you, for instance, the first boring part of your program, I said it has to start on social media, is when you post that your picture. Some of them when not fine, become wear suits. The kind of suit when they Adekunle DP. But wear suits. Now put the suit of the picture of your politician, faces that we don't want to see. You know, there are certain many of our politician face. Once you see the face, you don't vex. You now put one project-like topic, the effect of marigold in the life of Chima Wankwa. On a very poorly designed, what's it called, poster, flyer. You now put it on social media. You now say, join me 5 o'clock. Why would I join you when you've already told me that that program is going to be B for boring?
B for boring.
Why will I join you? You've already, see, the world has changed. Broadcasting have changed. I said it's a controversial space now. You would not see very dark man go do that. They will just come with one funny question or one funny picture or one funny scenario, you know, and just put it there and just ask one question. Then put something on that, okay, you want to find out, or yeah, join me by so time. Which one you think say go draw crowd pass? Your project topic, an ugly politician in suit face, or a funny picture that relates to something you want to talk about, or something that is happening with us, or something that is trending, and then you just ask a question with some humor there. And say, you want to know the answer, oh yeah, join me so time. Which one you think? Okay? So you write to that picture that you're posting, whatever you're posting, the picture should speak. And the comment just supplements it. You don't have to go write textbook for that place. Just something very simple, you know, very interesting thing. Just put it there. And it just goes out there like that. And you've already dragged your audience. And from that one question you asked, you already see several comments coming on that. Go on Instagram, you will see them all over the place. Why are you not doing it as a broadcaster? And you go there, that's where you're the ones that go there to click. And sometimes you even come on your program and you make reference to them. It's sad. They should be the ones making reference to you as a broadcaster, because you're the one that's trained on all these things, but you keep your training inside, you're not doing it. Okay? So these things are there. And then when you talk about not being able to do XYZ, AI has come to help us. So, in fact, have you noticed? Okay, let's take this Papa Ote song. I for play and I say time day. Let's take this Papa Ote songs that trended. It was produced with AI. The original one was done 2013. They used AI to do the new one. And have you seen the way it sounded? In those days when AI started, you will hear the voice, the sound will be somehow. When they are doing AI videos or AI anything, the voice will be somehow, and you know it's AI. But today, it's refined, crisp and clean. At the police reform training we did in Yola, we were showing people things about AI, and we told one guy to compose a song there and then on, what's it called? Compose a song there and there, and he recorded the song. I will put it inside Sumo and just told him, produce Afrobeat like this, produce this. With that same thing, the guy just recorded, and come and see what came out. You know, come and see what came out. Chibikeda is here, Nigerian Air Force, funding a program on solutions journalism on Radio Nigeria Network. I was asked to come help train the staff and put the program and design the program on air. The sick tune of that program, listen, Mondays 5:30. Who they walk, who they talk. That be the title of the program. And you see how we're able to pick a title that relates to solutions journalism. You may go that does pidgin, who they walk, who they talk. Now solutions journalism, when they do things. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Listen to the sick tune for that program. It was done with AI. But I'm telling you the truth, by the time we begin to trend that song around, na chat buster, just like that Papa would say. So AI is there to help you do everything. And here are some of the things you could use AI to do. Ideas generation, even the one inside this your WhatsApp. Ask it questions. Now, you that does pidgin has been imputed in AI already. So if you have one document that is in English, you can tell it, translate it to Nigerian pidgin, but you need to be careful anyway. How you use it. We'll talk about that later. So to generate ideas, it helps you. What about writing your scripts? Automated, now it could do it for you. So you're saving time. Suggest content for you. It does. Personalize your content. Like for instance, now, if I take something from somewhere and I tell you, write this out so and so for me, I can copy that thing. We did this training, was it year before last, right? Or was it last year? No. Was it last year we did this training? It was last year, I think, where Thompson, our good friend Thompson.
It was last year.
Last year, right? A series for us. In fact, on one of the editions, he spent 4 hours training us on how we use AI, training us on Facebook monetization and all this. Yet we still are not doing it. And we got this training free on Kleverest Scenta here. So I could take that document, and guess what? It was from Thompson I learned this. That was why I said we should do the training. We take that document, I post it back, and I said, write, and I'll tell it, write it again like Aro Leonard. Let it sound like Aro Leonard. And if we go and check how I write some of my articles and some of my content, or even the way I speak on sessions like this, and it will write it like me. So you want to get a job in Vanguard, for instance, you could go there and say, write this article like Vanguard. So when you want to now go there and present something to them, you present it in that way. They will say, oh, it suits what we do, and you get the job. So it's easy. Write it like, let it be for the man that sells in Idumota market. And if it knows Idumota, it will do it like that for you, okay? Of course, editing. For Felix, who says he doesn't have time, you just give some prompts to the AI and it will edit the thing the way you want it to be within a short time. The person that did the flyer for this training did it just minutes before I posted it. He was far away working in the office, very busy. And I just said, can you do a flyer on this? It's AI he used. And he just replied me back immediately with the flyer, with 3 different flyers, in fact, just within a few minutes, okay? And then quality, like I said, the quality of even AI has improved. So for instance, you see, many of you will go and use that old Terry, what's his name? Terry G, isn't Kenny G instrumentals, boring instrumentals and stuff. But see how the quality of the content we are doing now has improved with sick tunes, original sick tunes done with AI, just like that, who they walk, who they talk, that I talked about. Another one is coming on ASU Radio soon. Watch out for it. The drama was produced by one of the Kleverest Scenta volunteers, CISA, and it's on sickle cell. To be on ASU Radio very soon, and it's called Before It's Too Late. You know, this song was massive. Okay, that one was not Aisha, that one was properly produced, but you see that such things help improve the quality of your program. So your program sounds good, sounds more exciting, and then you don't need to stress. It is there. Just go learn the tools. You don't even need to learn it. Just go ask questions, put it there, and it will do for you. Okay. What about distributing your content? Do you know that? How many of you know, for instance, you say you find it difficult to post on Twitter, post on Facebook, post on this? Do you know that there's a software called Reshare? Reshare is not new. Reshare has been here for ages, long, that you sign into, and Reshare would help you customize that your same content for the various platforms. The way you post on Instagram is different from TikTok, is different from Facebook, is different from, and Reshare would help you. In fact, when you are streaming live, we use that in Darling FM also in the later years. When you're streaming live, it will just repurpose the content and send it to all those different platforms for you once. So you don't have to keep on doing all these things over and over again. So these are the kind of things you suggest to your station. You know, what about audience analysis? Rather than sitting down there and just coming up with topic, go to your Facebook, check. When I was producing just this thing, I used my statistical knowledge from school, studying environmental and resources planning. We do a lot of statistics in geography. For those who don't know, it's heavy on statistics, more than the geography you think about. So you could analyze anything. So that's why our motto is maximum spatial interaction, how things interact with each other. Now, I use that school knowledge to do analysis of the Just This Thing program after 13 editions, you know, to know which ones we had the highest number of phone calls, text messages, which ones guys called much about, which ones on Facebook. They could tell you even where the people who are responding and commenting and liking or viewing your posts, where they are from. They will tell you the kind of topics you post that they like the most. So you know that, okay, if this kind of one is the one they comment on more, maybe I should do more of that. Sometimes also, like we used to do in BBC Media Action, for instance, Yatekene, the Hausa version of Flavor, we found out that in the north, a lot of women were not going for antenatal because the men would not allow them to go. So we wanted, and we've also found out that it was the women that were listening to the program more, men were not listening. The women are at home and then they listen. So what we did, we needed to get more men to start listening. And then we had to identify a man who was escorting his wife always for antenatal in Kaduna. And we featured the guy, did a story on him deliberately so that more men would be attracted. That guy ended up later being featured on CNN as a result of us featuring him on Yatekele. He is now a big guy with NGO and all that in Kaduna. You know, once you just mention yeah, everybody knows the guy. But just from one program, and because of him, a lot of men started listening and started coming. The same way you might want more women to listen to your show. That analysis will give you, you know, say, oh, I'm not getting more. So what kind of programs can I do to attract the women more, to bring them in? And all these things are there for us. You don't need to go pay money anywhere for it, okay? And then when you see sentiment analysis, there are things around bias that goes with programs and things like that. When you look at comments, you would also know comments that could cause trouble for you. The kind of topics that could cause trouble for you and how you should say some of the things you say on air to help you not get into trouble. And of course, content optimization search. Today, if you're looking for a job in any organization. I don't know if this guy is here, the guy that shared this to me. They are all on the Kleverest Scenta page. And when we're recruiting for Malicha FM, which we just did now, we'll tell people we'll recruit everywhere for Soup News, everywhere we'll be recruiting all over the place. We'll tell people share links from your social media pages. Now, we don't use it to judge them because we train people before we recruit them. That's what we do. It costs us more, but that way we are able to get people who know not to come and lie during interview like most stations do. Now, so what we do is we always check your social media pages. If you can't find real things about that content on your page, it means you are not too keen about that thing that you say you're keen about. And if you can't see it on your page, you say you are this, you are that, and we can't see it on your page. Or we Google your name and nothing exciting pops up. Google my name now, you will see exactly what I'm doing here is there. So you already know that this is what I do. Okay. Now, this is what those platforms can help you to do. So when you're looking for a job, you don't have to go and be telling lies like you always do. Just send links of what you've done, and it's there. Even before you even do anything, there are lots of you in the group who got jobs by people reaching out to you directly, not you even going to apply for jobs just because of things they see. You know, when they search your name, they search your program, would it come up? You know, things like that. I remember when we were doing the No Sit Don't Look campaign, Darling FM, social media manned by Olivia, who's now in the US somewhere. Young Olivia. Olivia was John's co-presenter on the morning show. Had the highest impressions nationwide. Now, because of that, was what got the lady an international job. Because of that is what placed Camille. People would reach out from Lagos. The marketers came to the station from Lagos because the station was being seen online. I remember, what's her name? Ife Iyonda, who brings millions to the stations from agencies in Lagos, did not even know, even though she was my friend, not even know I was part of the station. She saw the station trending online and said, which one be this station? And she wanted to expand to the east. You get it? So things like that will happen for you when you make the use of the online space. Helps you generate your ideas, put your content in order, write your script for you, edit your script for you. Wait till they find again, broadcaster, that you are not using these things. When God has created these tools for you, and these things are created by God. Now, God, the creator of communication, you know, in the Garden of Eden. And
funny enough, Oga Arrow, now from social media, they I get this job. They went
exactly.
to then go look for job when I do like for 2021, 22 from Enugu to Asaba. Was some nights programs like that when I do approcotainment, can connect people. Now there they say pick me. But I just feel say I never reached as I know they do enough. Like as I never take the popular, I never they make money like you now, so I never they do enough.
You're not serious. All of my broadcasters, which money am I making? Are you paying for this session? So where am I making the money? Anyway, so you just said it, you just confirmed it, and you led the session in Asaba. You were part of that process. You understand? And now you see how it happened in your life. I'm sure when I was saying it in Asaba, you probably was thinking that it was lie. But imagine from Asaba to Lagos. Are you getting Lagos picking you? Yeah. And I keep telling you, irrespective of where you are, because some people will say, oh, everybody say, I want to come to Lagos. Did I say half? 80% of the stations in Lagos can't pay salary. They don't have structures. They are not doing a lot of things. So before you come, build yourself well where you are so that the big stations, like the one you've gone to now, can look for you and price you well and take you. With social media, even if you are in the bush, in the village, they will see you. How did IJNet see Camille in Owerri? 2020. Fisher internationally. How? In Owerri. Social media and all these tools, we didn't have them that much. Because as she was doing a darling clinic, She was tagging and posting things online and tagging those international organizations. As simple as that. That's how they found her. Okay? So that is what I want to see. And that is the other thing all these things does is that, see, they sell Gary for markets, not be so. How much they sell Gary? You know how much they sell Modu. But this one you see for the screen now, show now they see the screen. Gary snack.
With granola.
Exactly. Exactly. It will be more expensive than the entire module of Gary. Packaging. That is what these tools online helps you to do. You are the same people that will go and say, don't believe all what you see on social media. Or you see so-called influencer go post beside one G-Wagon. Say, I just bought one new car. Like that lady that went to post in front of someone's house, claiming it was the house she was building that got her into trouble. You get, now they say, not be everything, say everything are packaging. But why can't you package your program like that to look like Gary snack so that the big organizations can come and put money in your program? Why can't you package yourself well so the big stations can look for you and bring you in and pay you big money, rather than you going to beg small station to give you job and they'll be pricing you low still? Why don't you think about that? That is what these things can do for you. It can package you well. That is what the content creators do. They just pick something that is happening around. Like you young guys here, you go to school every day, you walk on the street. You don't know with that smartphone your daddy gave to you. That smartphone your daddy gave to you, you can pay your school fees. You can pay your school fees by doing content. Small Emanuela, not the Emanuela build house for mama. And you go there. Are there some things you can do also that you can begin to learn and post online? As you are young, you will learn the AI faster and begin to make a lot of revenue for yourself. So how much more you broadcasters with all the knowledge that you have? So this is where I think I should end it today. Let me not go too far. But in everything you do, by being simple, picking things from the streets, doing programs like content creators, not waiting as it comes, let it go. Simple ideas and just put it out there. You must not always have a 30 minutes program. 5 minutes every day, you do something, and that 5 minute stuff can make a lot of change. It's 1 minute post that people are using to make billions on Instagram and YouTube and different places. For instance, you finish your 30 minutes program, like that presentation. Some of you saw that presentation where I was talking about the fact that some station you can't adapt new technology because the mind is still analog for stations that are analog, that can't do a lot of adapt new technology because their mind is analog. You find out that it was a long presentation, but the organizers just cut out that bit, small bit. They just cut out that small bit and put it out there. They just cut out the small bit and put it out there. And you saw how that one trended. Now, if they are taking the full thing, how many people can sit down, as expensive as data is today? You don't know how much I spent to load a couple of things just to make sure that I don't have any fluctuation today. Yeah. As expensive as data is, how many people will sit down to go check your long post? No. So you cut bits, and put it out there. Bits, 1 point at a time, put it out there. Let it trend. Tomorrow, put another one. Another day, put another one like that. Little bits, let it trend. And before you know, you become very popular on that issue that you're dealing with. Okay? So, and beware of the law. Know what to post, even know what to, not because I say you see things on the street, you go and post and do like content creator, and then you see bodies, in an accident, you go and post gory images and things like that. No, it's not that. And some of you that will come and say, this, once I see, me for instance, once I see that message, someone says, warning, there are so pictures, I will not even click on it to watch. There are better ways you can put things out, tell stories without putting gory images, tell stories protecting people's identity, but you are just picking something from the street and putting on air. Go read your editorial values, do your editorial guidelines training, and stay safe, because there is the Data Protection Act, is law. That is what the governors have been using to jail content creators and journalists. It is a law that is there. The NBC code is being reviewed now, and the new code will definitely be taking into consideration your posts on social media as a broadcaster and a lot of other things also. So you need to work within the law, know what you should do, how you should do them, and know the law that backs you to do what you do. Now go there. Thank you very much. The floor is yours now.
Dr. Aro, thank you so much for the
Thank
lecture.
you so
Please,
much.
let's appreciate him with the emojis.
We
Thank you,
appreciating
thank
him.
you, thank you. Chuku. Dalono. Okay, so let's get to have some contributions. We'll do that, taking us all the way to 2 p.m.
Wait, go to Adekunle, are you able to see the chat?
Let me access
Because
that now.
there are things written there by some people.
Okay, I just have a few.
Mr. Adeyemi wrote some things there. Okay,
And
but
Ayomide.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I really like to hear Mr. Adeyemi's voice, so please call her before we leave. If our mic is okay now.
Okay. Adeyemi, if you're still in the session, please, you have a priority call. You can go ahead and ask your question. Thank you. Adeyemi Wanle. Doc, it doesn't seem like it. We would have to skip or allow her to join very soon. Let's get to accommodate the others. I'll come back to Ayomide's question on the group. So let's get to take contributions and commendations in, say, 2 or 1 minute for each speaker. So, my God, I wanted to start calling out my studio lines. I thought I was on air. So, please, let's have the hands indicated. Then we can call by virtue of order. Please indicate if you're to speak so we can call you. Karen, please proceed based on arrival. Thank you. Your mic is mute. Unmute your mic, please. Karen. We are yet to hear you, Karen. Just click on the mic icon. It will unmute.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, fine.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
Good afternoon, Aaron Leonard. Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to commend Aaron. You know, it's been years of training broadcasters. Until date, he's still in the act of training. I think you were born to be a teacher. I think you're truly born to be a teacher, and it's only God that can reward you in all that you are doing for your generation and even upcoming generations. You'll be impacting generations upon generations. And my prayer is that God will continue to bless and keep you. You know, some of us that were part of BBC Media Action then, we're now learning the digital aspect of broadcasting, and we hope to look forward to learn more in that aspect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That's Noye, okay, one of the most popular presenters in Anambra State. So when I talked about the ABS pins, they were the ones. So they were the first set of Nigerian broadcasters to do content that led to these peaceful elections we've been having in Nigeria. It was first experimented with them in Anambra in 2009. So please give Noye and Co. Sir.
Wow. Yeah,
So no hands. Adejimo, I think you will call some people that I'm seeing here that I want to hear them speak.
I've not seen their hands. There's no hand indicated.
So call them. Call. What's his name? Chuma
Okay.
Wankwo. I want to hear his voice. Call Dr. John.
Okay.
Call them.
Necessity.
Let them make some short comments.
Okay, Dr. John is a necessity, but we have the hands of Corey on. Corey, okay. Please go on.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for the wonderful exposition. I have been here with my pen and my paper, even though I'm not an OAP, but then I'm an engineer and I've been following. I have a personal question. It's a burden to me, and it does not really relate with all the teachings so far. So I don't know if I can ask the question.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, sir. I work in a radio station that runs 24 hours. However, I feel I'm being used by my direct supervisor, which is the chief station engineer, because I work 18 hours around the clock every day. There's no break, there's no off, and it was supposed to be a shift, but I end up working 18 hours every day. An instance is I resume work by 7 p.m. and I close by 11 a.m. the next day to resume 7 p.m. again. And in scenarios or situations where we have heavy workload that I have to probably finish up by 4, 5 p.m., I'm still expected to resume by 7 p.m. that same day. If I have enough rest, that's 8 p.m. and that's already into the night. So those are my challenges. However, my supervisor and I does not have a written down work schedule. It started just as me helping him cover for when he has works to do at home. It's actually a long, I would say it's a long story, but this is just a brief of it. It's more like I gave him that privilege. Sometimes he calls me and say, okay, please, can you stand in for me? I have some craftsmen coming over around this time. So please just stay with me till 11. After 11, when you are done with the streaming, you can go home. I'll come and take over. And I say, okay, there's no problem. And that's just how it continued. And he started taking advantage of it. I now have to stay in the office till 11. It now became a norm, which is not supposed to be. So that is my basic challenge. How do I handle it? How do I go about it? And I don't seem confrontational. I think I'll just pause here.
Okay, thank you very much. If you notice somewhere in the frame, Dr. Arrow was smiling. He wasn't mocking your situation, but that's because stories such as yours, they have arrived his desks, and some of us, we are living testimonies with baggages. So I will tell you for a fact that I can answer this question, but I will allow the doyen himself to go ahead and answer that question. So my Oga, go ahead, sir.
Well, thank God you said it with your mouth, and you are a living testimony of how it has helped you, to grow also. But let me tell you, I will answer because you said you are not. I will start from the point of where you said you are not a broadcaster, but you joined the session and you'll be taking notes. See, listen, in modern day broadcasting, any fly that enters a radio or TV station is part of the content of that station. That's one thing you should first of all know. When I was working at Internews Network, 2 days a week, I will sleep in that office when I was producing that Just Listening program. They thought it was because I loved my job so much. They not know say that the free 24 hours internet I dey use. Download everything I need for myself. Okay? Today, and I just had this chat with an engineer in the East, same area where you are. Today, most stations pay for monthly data, but you are not even using it. That is why sometimes your data speed will be dropping, because the companies are sharing your data with others. You be IT person, you know what I'm talking about. Because you are not even using it in the station to even do anything serious. Now there's an engineer who is there, who sleeps in this station in the East. Claims he's working a lot, but I know it's the internet he's using to do his own personal things. That's why I say I don't experience this thing before. But do you know that you, first of all, instead of crying about being overused, you can use that opportunity? How many stations in your station do you have a program that deal with a lot of all these engineering issues? Just like I talked about what content is and how easy it could be. Do you know that you can start such a program and become popular with it in your station? Do you know that? There's an engineer that worked with John at Rapid, Nonso. Nonso started from Vision of Africa in Umuahia. First as a driver to engineer. Then anytime we come there for trainings or anything, engineer will come and want to learn. Today, Nonso can produce programs and do a lot of things. So that's the mindset you should be thinking about. Never ever think that you are being used. Everybody in broadcasting is being used. No broadcast station owner, and I say it to owners when I'm setting up stations for them, and I say no broadcast owner can pay broadcasters what they are due. Nobody can pay you for your work as a broadcaster. It's not possible. So you are giving services that you're not being paid for. So you are being used whether you like it or not. Everybody's being used. Adejumo is head of programs, yet he's being used doing 24 hours in his station for no extra stuff. He was being used for 10 years, putting a station to content in a station for 10 good years, and was not given a permanent contract. But that made him such that the job that gave him a permanent contract gave him head of content straight, instantly. You didn't have to go under somebody. Are you getting? So see what you can gain whenever you think you're being used. Look at the opportunities in that station. They have 24 hours internet. What can I use it to do for myself while I am there in that place? So focus that way. Now, when you have Oga, if you want to start doing gaga with Oga, now you go lose. The Oga na Oga. John Nkamian, Dr. John, when we've shared the story, he has handled some sessions for us. He handled a session of breaking into the broadcast industry. He started as what you call studio rats. You know, the person everybody sends message. But because of that, he gained a lot of experience and became the youngest general manager in Lagos as one state. So he has been a general manager for decades. And he's not that old. Are you getting? Because of that thing. It gives you experience. You find out that you'll be growing better than your Ogas. And at the end of the day, you'll be the boss of your Ogas. Oscar. When I told Oscar, when he was at Inspiration in Lagos, doing a 15 minutes program sponsored by Access Bank, and I said, do you know that this your program is one of the most important programs in the station? He thought I was joking. I was in a vehicle, and after a show, I called him. I said, you will be the boss of your boss. Your boss is very soon. At City FM, he was the boss of Dan Foster, who was his boss at Inspiration FM. And that is the CEO of Rapid FM. rapid broadcast network today. And that is how it helps. So that's the point you have to look at it from. You can't fight with your orga, but you need to also be sincere. If there are things you need to do and somewhere, you know, the time is, you have to talk to him, but not in a confrontational manner. But first of all, to be happy with yourself, look for what you can do for yourself and benefit. 2, think of how you can start content and improve your rating in the station, your value in the station with the engineering knowledge that you have from this training that we've shared. Okay. So any more?
There are no more hands on, but Dr. John seems to have left us.
Lumi's hand is up.
Okay, Lumi, please go ahead. Ayomide, let's hear you.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, moderator and facilitator. My question, I'm actually a newbie in terms of broadcasting. I actually just finished from an academic school in Lagos, and I just took in a career as a presenter and as an audio professional. But my question actually goes to the part where the facilitator talk about AI in program production. And my question, I've actually dropped my question on the comment section. I didn't think the moderator didn't see, so I tried to raise up my hand to ask the question. My question goes this way, like I have people who told me, or the production in which I work for presently told me that writing, creating my me using AI to create my content or to write my script is actually making me unprofessional and being lazy. And here you actually make mention of making use of AI to to help in creating content, in writing scripts and all of that. But does this actually, my question now is, does me, making use of AI make me unprofessional and lazy? As they said, because that is actually giving a different, scenario entirely. So that's my question.
Doc, please permit me to troubleshoot a little. Thank you, sir. Look at your midday, if I'm not mistaken, so I don't make a blunder of your name. So awesome. First thing I want you to bear in mind is you are not committing any error by adopting artificial intelligence in your programming. The only error you can commit is also an error of commission. I would explain what that means now. So if you use AI, the question is, how are you using AI? Dr. Arrow said something about adaptation, because there's a way AI would write for you. When you use that content on radio, it will sound so very much unlike you. But there's also a way you can make AI understand your personality. That is why
Waiting happen now. Why we they lose them all the time now?
they are learning training your AI how you reason. Icebreaker. I also use AI. I use my AI to hack. So in the business of communication, there's what called technology determinism. What technology determinism talks about is not whether that technology is available, but how we utilize it. So the same technology that is a gun, which somebody would take to commit a murder, is the same technology that someone else
Leadership don't come again.
The technology has come in. Kule, we are losing you. The network is not good. But the truth is what you just said, is how you use it.
But I wanted to add something to what he was saying. Saying. Basically, make I just break them down for you. You see, AI, not too when you be saying, now waiting you give them, now it go give you back as answer. Now you go tell am exactly wetin you want, how you want am, and how you expect am to also give you. Then e go arrange am for you. Then when you bring am come out, when I dey learn then for Delcom 2025, they say you go still look at the things wey AI give you as answers. There are some wey you no need, because definitely im dey add up some of the things wey im get from other places, so that you no go sound like another person. Adjust it to suit exactly what you want and the idea you want to portray, not a garbage like you, whatever it dishes to you, you just carry it and go straight to use as presentation. If they don't use am for somewhere else before, that person go know say, this thing na AI generated. We know as it take dey be. A lot of presenters do that. They will just drop a topic on AI, just give me the angle of discussion and just give me an advice, and AI will give you everything exactly. It could be something that someone else had done, but your intention, what you are trying to portray, is quite different from that person. So you should be intentional about everything you put on AI and tell it exactly what you want and how you want it, and that's what it will give you back. Then you remove the ones you don't want and adjust to the ones you want. Then the language, you can make it softer or a bit advanced to suit you. That's why you don't take exactly what it gives you and just use. Make your language better to suit your audience. You can make it softer, you can make it advanced, depending on the kind of audience. So whatever it gives you, make sure say you work on them before you deliver. But if it just give you like that, you carry go deliver, or more people go cast you say na AI now you use. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And can I also add, one thing you should also know, that's why all you broadcasters, please go look for that Data Protection Act and go read it. And do you also know that your social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and co, can block your account if you use something from AI without saying it's from AI, without attributing it to AI? Do you know that? So you must know all these kind of things. You must know all those things. So it's how you use it. It is not the usage. If you just use copy and paste, no. So go back, you get it, put your human stuff, ask it for that prompts, but always put your human stuff. Then one more thing I need to say about this AI thing. The usage, like now your Facebook, WhatsApp, do you know that just go check your chat, open a chat as if you are chatting with someone, and you will see where there is one knob that says, that's asking you if AI can learn from your chat. So if you put it off, the AI won't learn that information. Now, it's the information they are gathering from us, the things we post, sites we click, conversations, chats. That is what they would use to answer you. So if, for instance, you're only going to certain kind of pages, when they want to answer you, they will answer you like that. That's one. Two, our local, when I say produce programs, content in line with the lifestyle of the people. Now you are somewhere, the way the people behave there is different from Lagos, different from Kano. Then you just ask a general question, AI will give you even the way Americans see it. And it might not be applicable to your people, okay? So you must know that a lot of our local ways of doing things, it's just entering AI small. So AI is not able. That's why when you're signing on to Google or YouTube or some of all these pages, they will ask you to put your location so that they can customize feeds to suit you based on what they know from that area. And our information from our side is not much. It's not much out there. So it's the more people use it, then it begins to get information. The first time I asked AI about me, I told it, tell me about Aroliona. It could not really find much. He asked me to say something. So I just put my link to my LinkedIn profile there. And since that day, things start popping up. If you ask, so I now later on, I now asked, tell me about Kleverest Scenta. It now said, I can't say much about Kleverest Scenta, but I can say much about the founder of Kleverest Scenta, Aroliona, and he started reeling out everything, that's Kleverest Scenta related that is connected to me. Are you getting? So it's what you give. So for instance, if you describe your program to the AI, your audience and all that in your prompt, it will try its best to look for something. And it's not, AI is not creating anything. That's why, when they asked that question in the last training, whether AI will take the job of broadcasters, on World Radio Day, 3 of the radio stations asked me that same question. It can never take the job of broadcasters. All these stations forming superstars, say, oh, we have AI transmission. You're not wasting your time. It can never. It only makes the work of broadcasters easy. You always need that human being because it is what you feed in that it gives you. So you need someone to ask the right question, describe the right kind of program, describe the right kind of audience for the AI to respond and give you something. Yes, it can reduce staff because just like we said from that last slide, it makes the work a lot easier. You could do things faster and all that. It could reduce staff, but I'm telling you, it cannot replace broadcasters. Huh? So do your work, ask the right questions, and share this your notes from this training to your orga. And that was what my post about the future is about. We have leaders in stations themselves that are not really moving with the technology. Technology is there, but we are not really moving with it. So share these notes and your boss would see things and then try it and share with him. And then you'll see how it works better. Okay?
Dr. Aaron, thank you so much. I was yanked off by the network earlier because something interrupted my Wi-Fi connectivity. But let me just add this for my brother. So if there's anything you need to do, it's an inclination towards technology. So today, the same appetite behavior that people have towards social media when it started is what they are giving towards AI. But AI is developing. We now have Ray-Ban AI glasses. It is a very important point in journalism to the extent where you're no longer talking about the audio stacks of carrying your devices. You can now plug in a simple glass and you are getting and generating content. In fact, I am looking at how it would, when Ababo should start producing that thing, let me get my own, because the current value right now is like 2 years salary. That said, if you are to start, you can train your learning model. I remember after giving my AI certain information about me, it goes to the extent where it begins to generate information about people that are related to me. So it works with the web. That's why even on Google, you have something called web crawler. At a point when I had a conversation with my AI, it told me specifically that I have confidently experienced 2 heartbreaks. So like Doctor said, it is aggregating information. There was a friend of mine and a colleague that taught us something on data. He owns a research company called ResearchGain in the UK. Just this morning, we finished talking on the importance of data before this meeting commenced. So please use AI, but use it cautiously, and you can feed items that you know they are already existing to your AI and ask it to refine on the thought. Many people who are traditional people, by that I mean people who are used to the convention, they are rejecting AI because they feel it is challenging its stance. But that's not the correct point of view. As we speak in the academics, we are looking at how to start adopting AI more rather than pushing it away to say, oh, you cannot use AI to carry out certain research and all of that. Even though it poses its own bias, that's where the human dignity comes in, because to date, some of your GPTs will still tell you that Donald Trump is the former president of US. That's as a result of built-in bias. So learn to use it judiciously so you can still maintain your voice. It is an assistive technology and it cannot displace you. Doc, thank you.
It's almost
Do we
time.
still have?
We have hope. Yes, hope. Let's take
5
hope,
minutes.
and then, and then.
Hope.
Yeah.
Please bring Hope alive. Let's hear from you, Hope.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. Kunle, good afternoon.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Leonard,
No,
I'm sorry because I know you will still attack me. No vex. Sorry, sir. It's really been, a huge one for me today. This is the first training sessions I'm attending, and it's been a lot. Thank you so much, sir. So for me, I just want to comment on this same AI thing. When I started practicing journalism, I my editor was like, "See, Hope." She said it in Igbo. She said, "We don't do AI here, so be very careful." And I also have senior colleagues who are, professional friends, like they prefer me to refer to them as, who I look up to. And sometimes when we have conversations, like Mr. Fidelis Mba of Al Jazeera, he had come to my office one time and took us through a class and said, "Leave AI alone. Leave AI alone." And immediately he left. My boss, Mr. Diego Okeyodo, said, "Don't mind him. Use AI." So I was caught in between because I met Fidelis before Diego. So how do I not offend these two great men? But then Mr. Diego exposed us to how best to use AI, and that's what I want to share. He had said to us, you can use AI as a brainstorming partner, like your teammates you converse with. Don't see it as a chat box. See it as, oh, this person did my team. All of us they produce this thing together. And AI helped me that period because Mr. Diego had forced me to start doing a YouTube show. Me we hate camera. Wait till now they do like this. I never write scripts. Why are you people stressing me? But then I went to Chat GPT, and then I just introduced myself, what I do, and all of that. And I said, "See, I want to start a YouTube series. This is the tag. This is what we want to be talking about, and all of that." And every single week, ChatGPT suggests to me 5 different topics. Those 5 different topics, when it comes up, it might look and sound vague, but when you do your research around it, you find a better way to to develop those topics. And that was how I was running that YouTube show for about 6 months before I stopped working there. So if you use AI as a chat box, you will have a lot of issues. But when you use it as a brainstorming partner, at some point it gets used to you. It gets used to how you think, the kind of topics you research on. I use AI to, in fact, it's ChatGPT that I use. I don't use any other chat box, right? So in 2023, during the presidential election tribunal, I had met everybody involved in that matter. And then I met Aisha Yusufu, but her younger brother, who was also a content creator, could not come into the courtroom. He didn't have clearance. Then when I come out, this guy will sit me down for like 5 minutes for me to explain and summarize everything that happened inside the courtroom to him. When he did that like 2 days, he said, "Babe, sure you know go start your own TikTok page." I be like, wait till I want to talk there. I did it for the first 1 week, and I was just getting 100 views and all of that. But then I copied that link, the link to my TikTok page, and I pasted it on ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT to analyze that page for me, like analyze it and tell me what I should do, what I am not doing right, and all of that. ChatGPT roasted me. The ChatGPT yabbed me like say I offend them, but it gave me insight on what to do, how to go about it. And from when I did that thing, which was like second week into the tribunal, till the end of the tribunal that lasted like 3 months, my page grew from having just 10 followers to about 6,000 followers within 3 months, to about 6,000 followers. So if you use ChatGPT as a brainstorming partner, if you use AI as a brainstorming partner, it gives you what you want. It gives you what you want. Sometimes my ChatGPT, as at now, will drop links for me. Google links that I will click on to for further research. It gives me like, oh, check this page, or like what prompts I should use if I'm going on Google to check. But if you use ChatGPT as, okay, I dey use AI as a chat box, now garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. ChatGPT can help you write an article. It can help you write your news story. It can help you create marketing ideas. It can help you analyze your page, your platforms, your social media platforms. But you just have to ensure that you are not using it as a chat box, as just a regular chat box, but as a brainstorming partner where you can do like in-depth, have like detailed conversation with it, and it will give you links for you to do further research to be able to have a better developed topic and content. And I think that is where most of us, especially the young generation broadcasters and journalists, that is where we get it wrong. We just want to be very fast. We want to do it very fast and go. And because of that, we end up bringing out content or writing stories that don't make sense even to us if we had taken our time to read it. And then our editors or line manager will end up telling us that, oh, you are lazy and you are this and that. And this is because we did not even take time to do what Miss Marigold said. Go back and check what ChatGPT gave you. Edit it yourself. Remove what is unnecessary. Remove those ambiguous languages, according to our president, Oyibopo. Remove them, because sometimes you don't need those big grammars. You just need something simple, straightforward, and relatable. But ChatGPT will give you something that's all over the place, and then when you don't check it because you want to be the first to tell the story, you end up telling stories that they will now give you query for.
Hope, do you know that some people at some point even use the smiley and the cartoon characters that ChatGPT used to put for them? They will still put it and send to me as part of their program synopsis for a script for that day. And when I reject
You
it,
can
I become a
imagine.
bad line manager.
You can
Seriously,
imagine.
it's that bad.
Okay.
That is a
So we got that
disaster.
because time is
It's
gone,
like,
but the remaining
Dr.
three people,
Aaron,
let them talk sharp, sharp.
Let's move over to, I can see the hand of Chima
Chima.
Wampo. Please, let's do
My
two
Oga.
minutes each. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thanks a lot, too.
Thanks, boss.
Mazi Chima, over to you, sir.
Oga Chima.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
But yeah,
Good afternoon.
We are
Can you hear
hearing
me?
you.
we can hear you, Oga Chima. Go on, go on.
You can hear me loud
Okay,
and
so
direct.
I want to thank Leonard in particular for putting this thing together. For somebody like me who has left broadcasting for a while now, this is like the only link I have back to the newsroom and what is going on. So basically, I haven't talked since because I've been quiet. I haven't talked since because I've been taking notes. I've just been trying to update myself on what is going on right now in broadcasting. But I want to say this thing about ChatGPT now. Just like everybody who is here, I'm trying to learn about ChatGPT more. But I just picked up something recently. That is that I think it's going to be useful to many of us. You can actually moderate the way chat talks to you. You can go to a section of ChatGPT and tell it who you are, what you do, and that it should not be your motivational speaker. It should give you unbiased advice on whatever you ask it. It shouldn't motivate you. Shouldn't give any false hope or anything like that. Just tell you brutally honest exactly what you want to hear and give you advice that is unbiased. So you can program chats to give you that kind of thing. And so like recently, my chat has been like before when it would just be, I would just ask it a simple question, it would be hailing me and telling me I'm the most brilliant person in the world and that kind of thing. Now chat tells me, it will ask me questions like brutal questions like are you sure about this idea you're asking about? Have you thought about it properly? There's now a brainstorming partner truly. So like if you go to the personalization section of ChatGPT, that private section there, you can actually go there and there's a place where it tells you to put in the prompt where you can just say who you are, what you do, and exactly what you want chat to do for you. And that will now make chat become, in fact, I think there's a drop down menu there where you can tell chat where it can tell you, it asks you if you want chat to be where you want chat to be cheerful, you want it to be honest, you want it to be. You can now click on those things there, and chat will become what you want it to be, a true partner. So just explore your chat. Go to the personalization section of ChatGPT and click on those things and put in the prompt you want. Enter the prompt you want it to give to you, so that you can actually get good advice, good, unbiased, not cheerleader advice. I mean, not a motivational speaker advice. Good, honest, frank, brutal advice about what you want to do, and then it becomes really useful. And then, yes, you can get true, good, honest commentary on what you want to do, and then chat. I also want to say to people here that stop using chat like Google, you use Google about asking me questions. Because like right now, I can use chat to plan what I'm going to do for the next 90 days. I can ask chat to give me ideas based on, maybe I'll give you the background or a context. I'll tell you, give me ideas for what you're going to do for the next quarter. And chat will give me a lot of ideas there. And I'll begin to program, and I'll begin to tweak things, and I'll begin to organize, to adapt things to suit my. So, like, use chat to do strategic thinking, strategic planning, and limit it to all. Don't Google things. You just tell chat exactly what you want. Give it context, give it background, and it will now give you what it wants based on what you've given to it. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. One more. Eunice. Nice lady. Please go on. Nice lady.
Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. I'm so grateful. I've also listened to what others said. I'm so sorry I came in late because I was in the program, so I didn't get the lectures. But from the submissions of people, I've learned quite a lot, and I'm so grateful to be part of this event, this meeting. Now, there's something I want to share concerning myself with this ChatGPT thing. The first time I was introduced to ChatGPT, I was not very comfortable with it because I saw a lot of videos. Stop using ChatGPT. Stop. I was like, which one is this ChatGPT? So when they introduced it to me, I was like, I throw that thing. They say stop using ChatGPT. You are bringing it to me. I know that kind of stuff. So until I started learning the different ways you can maximize that tool. Now, because of like some of us who are in broadcast media or other media stations where you have so many things on your hand, only you are doing this, doing that, like we are multitasking, so many things. You are listening to, you are in charge of this, you're in charge of that, and you just like you want to break down. Then you have your personal issues to even handle. So you really need these tools to help you. So what do? Just to learn how to use it. So I was now thinking of what do I do until I started meeting people who taught me how best to make use of ChatGPT. Now I'll be right. It's okay. Go on, do this one, and I expect you to bring the result now, and you have another work you have not finished that one. So what do you do? So when I go to ChatGPT, I say, do this for me, and it just brings it out. When you come and I say, which one is this one again? So I now started learning how best to utilize it. Now you say, okay, no, I don't like it. It gives you this, make it more engaging, make the tone more conversational. Oh, bring it home, make it more relatable to Nigerian audience. I started learning some of those little things that you can add to make it, to bring it home to exactly what you want. So that's what I've been doing. I know it's not over yet, but I'm still learning the different languages that I can employ so that I can get exactly what I want. So I also want if you can introduce us to other chats, other AI tools, apart from ChatGPT, these other ones we use for research and the rest. I have about 3 or 4 that I use, but there are still some that people say there are other, tools that are available that will make it easier. Like those ones that you don't need to pay. If you want to go for an assignment and you record your audio and you want them to make it into text immediately, not just the one of picture, audio to text, all those kind of little things that will make the job easier. We'll be happy to have all of that. More so, I also appeal, if it's possible to have part of these lectures that we've done today, if we can have copies of those soft copies of the lectures, I'll be very grateful because I missed those parts too. Thank you so much, sir. I like this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
The very first thing is that Eunice, you'll be placed under arrest because you want to make us that are developers go poor. You're looking for free things.
Eunice, chat can translate. Let me give you a expo. Eunice, chat can translate as the program is going on. Put your chat on, it can get the voices and translates for you. Sharp.
Wow, thank you.
You hope, did I call you? Did I call you to come? Okay, so
And then
that's
I do
actually
you hear my voice. Now I talk oh. And then
I
one
think this is
dissect.
all these Natasha sisters, but it's all good.
I
So
agree.
that's
It's
where
not
I
your
wanted to
fault
point.
now. Weakest cousin.
No,
So
Bola's brother.
he don't do, and I don't try. Let's wrap up this session. It's been an interesting time. At least we can flavor humor while we also learn. All brilliant conversations that we've had from here today, and we can all take it back. Yes, it's not about ChatGPT, but we've also spoken of, Doc mentioned that there's now convergence, which means ChatGPT is an extended site of that convergence, even while we talk about, data protection policies and everything that is going on. You look at the arrangement between Netflix and the other big fours in the United States, in Hollywood, trying to buy some of those right over. One of the things they considered was data and the trueness of some of the videos that some of those companies have generated using artificial intelligence. So that we'll continue to learn, we'll continue to improve ourselves. Today's lesson has been centered around simple ways to produce radio and television content. And our facilitator has been Dr. Aro Leonard. Let me not say Leonard. And this particular session is being recorded. By virtue of when we turn it off, it has been recorded, and subsequently you can get it on the Kleverest Scenta, so you can go back, listen, share the link to somebody, and don't forget to preach the gospel of Kleverest Scenta. We are building. The numbers may not be sufficient here, but the impact is being felt. Lastly, let's make available to ourselves the privilege to learn. Run with every and any technology. It would help you. But while you do so, also be concerned about your privacy. Thank you very much. Remain blessed and have a beautiful weekend. Dr. Aru.
Yeah, thanks, Ade. Yes, in fact, everybody clap for Ade for he has been doing this since when we started. He's been the chief, he is the programs manager of Kleverest Scenta. And they've not been able to solve their problems in Rivers State. Anyway, Chibike of Nigeria he shared the link to the Nigeria Data Protection Act. It's there. So scroll on the chat, you'll see the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023. Have it, keep it with you. Mr. Akpeju was not able to join this session today. We're talking at his office at Nigeria Copyright Commission. Akpeju is also a trainer on investigative journalism. Tunde Akpeju. Akpeji. And we're talking about a session he did sometime back about keeping documentation sources. Now, that is one thing that a lot of broadcasters don't have. So when Tunde does programs, he has the Nigerian Constitution with him there. He always checks to know what is what. But what we see on air today is a lot of rumors. You just hear one thing, one headline on the newspaper, and then you take it. You don't even know what. Then you now invite a guest. Then the guest bamboozles you with all kinds of things because you don't even have enough information. Now, you could also ask for any of all these things. You could also ask that AI, say, please summarize XYZ points within the Nigeria Data Protection Act that talks about XYZ. And it will give you the summary even when you don't have time to go read the whole thing. Or it could lead you to where exactly you could go to get certain information so that when you're on air, and you could do this even while interacting with your guest. You could do that while interacting. If you notice, when you check Rufai Husseini, and for some of you who don't know, Rufai Husseini is also a Kleverest Scenta product from beginning. And when people are confused about his style, this guy shared that style of journalism that he wants to do with me way back 2008 in Radio Jeremy in Delta State. You understand? So he had made up his mind that this is the kind of journalism he wants to do, and that's why he's doing it like that, irrespective of what anybody's saying, and he's maintaining it. He gave examples of the people he copied and wants to be like. Anyway, if you notice, when he's talking to someone, you'll see him reading and looking at something, scrolling for something, looking for something. You see, he will just ask one question because he has gone and found something. He has not told me this, but this is from my observation, just watching him, because he has gone and found something, and he will just stick on that one point, and he will use that one point to deal with whoever he wants to do. So for live programs like that, you have no excuse. Say, oh, no time, it's live. No, you have your phone with you, you have your device with you. Anything is going on, you check it instantly. At the beginning, we said radio, TV are supposed to be like Twitter today, instanta. Not, you don't allow anybody go out with any misconception. Deal with it there and there with AI tools, and you find out that your program becomes a lot better. And I am hoping that we'll do this. So what I want to see from those of us who are in this training, who are in the Kleverest Scenta group, please go back into the group. The link to the group is there for those who have not joined. I've seen that some have joined now. And share some of your takeaways from this session. Share them there, post them on your social media pages. And it's when you do this, that is when, since I know they pay for them, that is when we will be able to get known by people that this is what we do, and those who can pay can come and support. And I want to thank everybody for taking out time. The notice was quite short. It was deliberate anyway. For some reason to make it short, so I don't have crowd where the physical one would take place. But in previous sessions, we've even had sessions where we had over 100 people logged in. In fact, those early ones we usually have between 70 to 100 people because we give long notice. So going forward, we're going to be giving long notices. We are about these sessions, but also market us, sell us, so that one day someone will see what we are doing and come support. Yes, a lot of the things I've been getting for the past so many years, I've came in through this. I thank God a lot of people have gotten jobs from Kleverest Scenta. I got to receive messages of 2 people that got jobs from within the group. Recruiters, station owners are in those groups. They look at your posts and they look at things you say, and then they reach people and they recruit people. We've had, in fact, when we opened the group the first year in 2022, about 40% of the members of the group got jobs as a result of being part of the group. So we want to continue. This has been going on since 1999. This is how many years now? And we want to continue. And we would like you guys to always support by joining, sharing the links, sharing everything we do, so that we'll be able to grow. Madam Eunice that wants free products. This one is not free. It is paid for. The Google Meet we are using was paid for. For those of you who don't know, the cheapest Google Meet costs 100 and something thousand naira. That's what we pay to have this Google Meet alone, before you talk about other things, okay? So a volunteer will come up again. That's what's been happening. You can post it in the group, request for such trainings in the group. A volunteer will come up like Thompson did, because as a result of someone making a request, that's when Thompson volunteered and gave us 3 full sessions on AI and other stuff. Now, there's been advancements from what Thompson taught us the last time to now. So definitely we'll be having a session on it very, very soon. There's a young guy also that will be taking us, the guy who did the flyer will be taking a session on how to create AI videos, short videos, what Felix asked for. You'll be handling that session very, very soon. So we hope to move like that, one after the other. Thanks a lot. Thanks to my elders for coming here. Ogachima graduated when I finished secondary school. Thanks a lot to everybody. And thanks to Madam Adeyemi Ogunubi. Madam, now when orgas like this come in and are part of these sessions from beginning till the end, I'm really appreciative. I tried to even unmute her. I could not unmute her from here, so I don't know what is wrong with her system back at her end. It always says, you can't unmute this person. I don't know why. Something probably happened there. Okay, but I thank you all for coming, Madam Noye, Hope the troublemaker and all the others that have stayed true. So we'll continue the gist on the Kleverest Scenta platform.
God
Thank you.
bless
you, Doc.
you. God
Yeah.
bless
Doc,
you.
I beg.
Okay.
My phones, they are running low and national grid has fallen here.
AI,
Go
you
and do
AI,
a
your
go
phone
and
is
do
running low.
program.
Oh
Go and
AI,
do program on it
technician.
so that Fubara will start to invest in your local power. Hmm?
Okay,
Kubara will not invest in him because he's weakest PA.
No, Bola
That's
brother, Bola brother.
Okay, have a nice day, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Meanwhile, Chima, you are expected back on L. I know say the thing they switch you. He has left media work to go into NGO. The thing they switch you. We're expecting you back, Oga Chima. Your experience cannot go. Chima reported for several international media organizations during his time. Thank you very much. God bless. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank
And the
you.
guy that had that issue with station chats with me offline so we can talk more so you don't get into trouble. Hmm? And Lumi,
Okay.
congrats that you
Thank
got a job. Lumi started doing
you,
some media stuff while he was still in school, and that is what happens. So immediately you come in, you don't have to wait, you get a job. Start when in school and do the little you can do. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for all that you do. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.